Chapter 165. Wait a minute. Wang Yao's eyes lit up. He vaguely guessed what was going on. Could it be that because the spirit gathering array has been completed and the spirit chi of this world has been gathered here, these animal senses are exceptionally sensitive? In the face of such a huge temptation, they are willing to try even if they know that they might die. In fact, the situation was similar to what he had guessed. Once the battle array was completed, the aura of this world was gathered from all directions. Ordinary people might not feel anything. They just felt more comfortable and refreshed when they came here. However, these animals were different. Their senses were more sensitive. They could clearly feel the changes on the mountain. They instinctively sought benefits and avoided harm. They knew that if they came here, they would definitely have great benefits, even if there were two giants here. Therefore, these animals all came over, hoping to have a share of the porridge. It seems that San Xian and Xia will be busy in the future. In a shop in Lianshan County. Cough, cough. Vomit. A man was vomiting. There was blood in the toilet bowl. Something seemed to be moving in the blood. After coughing, he took out a bottle of medicine and drank it. He went into the room with his hands covering his stomach. He then fell on the bed and stared at the ceiling. He was way high. He was going to Beijing tomorrow. His wife had made an appointment for him with a specialist in internal medicine. Since he had this strange disease and it became more and more painful, his mentality had undergone a process of change. At first, he was full of hope that he could be cured. At first, the doctor's answer was positive. This disease can be treated. It can be cured. It will not recur. After the surgery, the disease worsened. He did not feel good. The doctor's statement also changed. The lesion is transferring and spreading. It needs to be controlled with medicine. There was no absolute certainty. Later on, no, you can go abroad to have a look. This was no longer a certainty. Relax and think about it. Things will take a turn for the better. There was no other way. Take time to spend more time with your family. This was a euphemism. In fact, it was equivalent to an ultimatum. In other words, it was equivalent to a final ultimatum. You don't have much time. Eat whatever you want. If you have any unfinished wishes, hurry up and finish them. This process made him fearful of hospitals and doctors, because this kind of examination and diagnosis was like a death notice for him. You still have 1 year. You still have 3 months. 1 week. When he thought of this, his whole body trembled. He tried hard to restrain himself from thinking about it. But the more he thought about it, the more afraid he became. In fact, he had even written his will. His flight was in the afternoon, and he would be able to reach Beijing in the evening. He would stay there for the night, and tomorrow he would look for the specialist again. It's a waste of time. Maybe there will be a turn for the better. These were the two thoughts in his heart. The former had the upper hand, but he still had a little bit of hope in his heart. What if there was a way? What if there was a miracle? But how could there be so many ifs in this world? How could there be so many miracles? The next day, the sky was blue with white clouds. Guo went up to Nanshan Hill in person. She was also there to make a final effort, hoping to persuade Wang Yao, but the result was the same as before. I won't be going for the time being. When you change your mind, remember to tell me immediately, Guo said with a smile. She didn't force him. No problem, Wang Yao said with a smile. She left with the decoction brewed by Wang Yao. The fee was transferred to Wang Yao's card. After returning to hike, they didn't continue to stay. They immediately booked a flight back to Beijing. I hope this decoction will be effective, the middle-aged man, surnamed Gu, said. This was what it meant to come with hope and return with disappointment. What is that young man thinking? Is it because he doesn't have the ability to cure old Master Gu's illness, so he doesn't dare to enter Beijing because he's afraid of being exposed? This was not the first day this idea appeared. Uncle Gu, go back and tell Grandpa Su the truth. Okay. In Beijing, there was an endless stream of traffic and flowers. As soon as they walked out of the hospital, a thin middle-aged man stood outside and refused to go in. This was one of the most famous hospitals in Beijing. The medical equipment was advanced and the medical skills were strong. There were many different kinds of specialists in this hospital. It was also a well-known hospital in the country. Every day, A large number of patients from all over the country came here to seek medical treatment. The number of specialists could be sold at a very high price. The middle-aged man staggered. His legs seemed to be filled with lead. It took him 10 minutes to walk a short distance, as if he was carrying a mountain. Professor Su, after seeing the specialist, he forced a smile on his face, but it looked uglier than crying. How had you been feeling recently? Same as always. How about this? Let's do a systematic examination first to see how your condition is, the doctor, who looked to be in his 40s, said. Okay. It was already afternoon by the time the key examination was done. After carefully reading the examination results, Professor Su was surprised and asked, "Hey, what treatment have you been receiving recently? What's wrong?" Wei Hai immediately sat up from his chair. "Sit down. Don't be nervous. The examination results show that your condition is getting better," Professor Su said. "This is a good thing. Why are you so excited?" "It's getting better." Wei Hai was stunned. "Professor Su, you lied to me? You came all the way here to see a doctor. Why would I lie to you?" Professor Su said with a smile. "It's getting better. It's getting better. That's great." This was the best news Wei Hai had heard in the past few months. "You went abroad for treatment?" "No," Wei Hai said. He had wanted to go, but he was afraid that he would not make it and die abroad. He was afraid of wolves in front and tigers behind, so he delayed. Fortunately, he did not go. "You received treatment in China?" "Yes, in China." "Where? Which hospital? Which specialist?" This time, it was Professor Su's turn to be surprised. He was very clear about the condition of the patient in front of him. This rare parasite was very scary and difficult to eradicate. He was an expert in this field. Moreover, this was one of the top hospitals in China. He wanted to know if there was a better medical condition and could treat the patient in front of him. He even wanted to visit the person in front of him. "Sorry." Wei Hai shook his head. He remembered Wang Yao's special instructions. "Folk prescription." Professor Su vaguely guessed something when he saw Wei Hai's reaction. "Chinese medicine." Wei Hai gave this answer after thinking for a while. Professor Su in front of him was an expert in Western medicine treatment. It was not that he did not know Chinese medicine, but he was not as proficient in Western medicine. Yes, whether it is Chinese medicine or Western medicine, the basic purpose is the same. They both want to cure the disease and reduce the patient's pain. "You can continue to receive treatment," Professor Su said. He was not like some Western medicine doctors who were very resistant to Chinese medicine. On the contrary, he felt that there were quite a lot of merits in Chinese medicine. Moreover, there were indeed some unique aspects in the treatment of some diseases that Western medicine could not compare with. "Don't you want to take another look?" This surprise came too suddenly. Wei Hai still could not believe it was true. "Why? Don't you trust me?" "No." "When can I come for a follow-up?" "Come in 2 months. You can call me before you come," Professor Su said. "Okay, thank you. This is a small gift from me." Wei Hai took out a red envelope from his pocket and handed it to Professor Su. "It's not necessary." Professor Su smiled and refused. "Go back and rest. Quit all the things I told you last time." "Okay." When Wei Hai walked out of the doctor's office, he felt a lot lighter and more comfortable. There was also a smile on his face. When he came, he was heavy. When he left, he was light. "It's getting better. It's getting better." When he walked out of the hospital, Wei Hai cried softly. The passers-by looked at him in surprise. After all, it was rare for a man to cry in public. What's wrong with him? Is he crying bitterly or crying tears of joy? Why do you care so much? There's an unknown object in front of you. What? Bang! Somewhere in Beijing, in a secluded courtyard. He doesn't want to come? No, I didn't see him. Misqua didn't let me. I only brought back this bottle of medicine. Then let Xiaoxua try it. Sigh, but he didn't say that. He just doesn't want to come to Beijing for the time being. Go. The old man waved his hand. My poor granddaughter. His grandchildren were all boys. It was not easy to have a girl. She was the apple of the family's eye. They were afraid that she would fall or melt. They let her do whatever she wanted. She was very well-behaved and sensible. Everyone liked her. They didn't expect her to have such a disease. It made the whole family worried. Sigh. The old man in his 70s sighed. Ha ha ha. In a high-end hotel, a man was crying and laughing. Fortunately, The hotel's soundproofing was good. People outside could not hear him. Otherwise, they would have called the police. Wei Hai was lying on the bed and looking at the ceiling. He had not been so happy since he was diagnosed and had surgery. I'll be fine. I can watch my children grow up. I can watch my son get a wife. I can watch my daughter get married. I can hold and see my grandchildren. In the endless darkness, a light was lit. It was hope. No matter what kind of situation people were in, once they saw hope, they would be able to pull themselves together. Thousands of miles away, in Rinha Clinic in Lianshan County. Young man, you're good. It's really like what you said. After I changed my job, my body really got better. The old man in his 70s came to express his gratitude. He was the old man who had a headache because he was guarding the gate of the Cemetery of Martyrs. Since he quit his job, he felt a lot better in less than a week. He realized that the young man was not talking nonsense. He really understood. Therefore, he came to express his gratitude. He had come once before, but he didn't see Wang Yao. This was the second time. Chapter 166. That's good. Your body is very strong. There are no other problems for the time being. Then I'll go first. The old man left happily. At his age, having a strong body was more important than anything else. In the morning, Wang Yao only diagnosed one patient and prescribed a medicine for him. When he left at noon, Pan Jun gave him a red envelope as usual. Are you losing money? Wang Yao asked with a smile. No. Pan Jun shook his head. Now, Wang Yao had a certain reputation. Some people knew that there was a young doctor in the clinic who was good at treating headaches and other diseases. Although not many people knew about it, it was slowly becoming more and more. It was like when a supermarket had a discount, the news would spread in a very short period of time. If the effect was good, naturally, he would have a reputation. With a reputation, naturally, there would be more people coming to the clinic. With more people coming, naturally, he would earn more. From a small point of view, he was losing money. In the long run, he was making a lot of money. Thank you. Goodbye. Wang Yao accepted the payment. This was said in advance. It was a rule. Looking at Wang Yao's back, Pan Jun smiled and said, still the same. Is it so difficult to stay for a meal? He doesn't look like a master who lacks money. That car is not cheap, right? Pan Mei asked. It's more than not cheap. Since he started to see patients here, the rate of growth of the clinic's income is somewhat beyond my imagination. Even if the wild herbs are deducted, Pan Mei said with a smile. After being silent for a long time, Pan Jun said these two words, okay. After returning home, Wang Yao began to prepare to make pills. It was not the kind of pills that he was familiar with before. It was a pill that he created himself. Ginseng, glossy Ganoderma, Angelica, Moonlight, Shanjing, Guyuan, Ziyu, and Iron Plum. Wang Yao chose all the expensive herbs. Almost half of them were licorice roots. If this pill was made, it would definitely be extraordinary. It could be called an elixir. Wang Yao wasn't sure what the specific effect would be, but he was sure of this composition. If he wanted to make something, he would make the best one. Wang Yao really wanted to do so, and he was prepared to do so. But the timing. The next day, in the morning, a person hurried up the mountain. What's the matter? Why is it so urgent? What the hell? What's the situation on your mountain? Wang Mingbao asked as soon as they met. What happened? When I went up the mountain just now, I saw 7 or 8 rats rushing up the mountain like crazy, Wang Mingbao said. Rats? No wonder Sin Xian rushed out just now, Wang Yao said. What do you have on this mountain? There are hawks, dogs, herbs, and trees, Wang Yao said with a smile. They know that there are dogs and eagles, yet they still come up. Maybe they ate something wrong, or maybe they want to try and see if they could defeat their natural enemies. After all, there are more of them, Wang Yao said half-jokingly. Stop joking. Let's get down to business. Let's talk inside. San Xian and the goshawk were enough to take care of things outside. Wei Hai came to see me again today. He came to see you? Is his illness serious? Wang Yao hurriedly asked. No, he went to Beijing 2 days ago and found a specialist to check on him, Wang Yao said. What's the result? Wang Yao, pour him a cup of tea. His illness is getting better. Your treatment is effective, Wang Mingbao said. That's a good thing. Wang Yao said with a smile. It meant that his treatment plan was correct. He could proceed with the next step of treatment according to the established plan. You didn't see how happy he was. He was just like a child. After returning from Jing that day, Wei Hai rushed to Wang Mingbao's shop with a long-lost smile on his face. It was a sincere smile, not a forced one. His smile made Wang Mingbao's hair stand on end. He didn't understand what had happened. When Wei Hai happily told him the results of the examination in Jing, Wang Mingbao was also happy. He was happy for Wei Hai. His illness was getting better. He was happy for Wang Yao. His buddy had created another miracle. He saw hope when he was in despair. Anyone would be happy, Wang Yao said after taking a sip of tea. Yes, he asked me where you lived. He wanted to thank you in person. Don't tell him where I live. Wang Yao reminded him again. He was touched by Wei Hai's clinginess. If he knew where he lived, wouldn't he come here every day to ask him to treat his illness? I know. When are you going to continue to treat him? I can give him a reply when he comes to me, Wang Mingbao said. We'll talk about it after I prepare the medicine for him. Okay. At noon, the two brothers went to town to have a meal. Before Wang Yao returned to Nanshan Hill, he received an urgent call from Panjun patient, the county hospital. Wang Yao was slightly surprised. It turned out that Panjun had called to say that he had encountered a patient with a somewhat strange condition in the county hospital. He hoped that he could go and have a look. Wang Yao hesitated because he didn't have a medical qualification certificate. There was a considerable difference between going to the county hospital and going to Rinha Clinic. Sorry, I have something to do now. In the end, Wang Yao chose to refuse. Panjun helplessly sighed on the other side of the phone. That afternoon, the news quickly spread throughout Lianshan County. A patient died in the county hospital because of a misdiagnosis. It was a big event in this small county, especially under such circumstances. Medical disputes often occurred. The deceased patient's family directly held a funeral at the entrance of the county hospital. The funeral clothes, mourning clothes, elegiac couplets, and white funeral couplets attracted passersby to stop and watch. Hey, what's going on? The hospital killed a patient. I heard that the patient was fine when he went in, but in less than an hour, he died. Then what's going on? They gave him the wrong medicine. If you ask me, even if there was a serious illness, he wouldn't dare to come here. The standard is too low. These people who didn't know the actual situation guessed, gossiped, and spread the news. At this time, several leaders in the hospital, together with the department director and doctor who treated the patient, gathered together. This was a medical accident, and it must be dealt with as soon as possible. Otherwise, it would only continue to ferment and bring more negative impact and losses to the hospital. Tell me, how should this be dealt with? What's the patient's family's opinion? They asked for 1 million yuan. 1 million yuan? The old man was sick, and the illness was very sudden. We didn't make any mistakes in the treatment, the department director who treated the patient said. We'll listen to your explanation, but the patient's family won't listen to your explanation. The outside media may not listen to your explanation. Our leaders in the health bureau may not listen to your explanation. The patient died in our hospital. This responsibility should be borne by us. That's true, but isn't this 1 million too much? Just as Chief Zhang said, he already has an illness. It just happened that his illness flared up in our hospital. Then, let's talk to his family. Lianshan County was not big. The death of a patient in the hospital was explosive news. It soon spread and appeared on the internet. Improper treatment led to the patient's death. The county hospital? Wang Yao also heard the news from the internet. What a coincidence. Could it be that Panjun called me because of this patient? Wang Yao was very confused about this, so he called Panjun. The result was as he expected. The patient that Panjun wanted to see was the patient who died. Fortunately, you didn't come. This matter is a headache for the hospital, Panjun said on the other side of the phone. He was still scared when thinking about this matter. Fortunately, Wang Yao didn't come because he had something to do. Otherwise, if he came to the county hospital and saw the patient who died in the end, it would be really troublesome. The patient died in the hospital, but if an outside doctor came in contact with the patient without the permission of the county hospital, who would be responsible? It was completely Wang Yao and Panjun who invited him. Fortunately, this didn't happen. Chapter 167. If I had gone there myself, the patient might not have died. After hearing the news, Wang Yao thought of this possibility. After all, it was a human life. The next day, the sun was bright and the weather was warm. Wang Yao was decocting the medicine for Wei Hai in the cottage. He had 2 decoctions of regather soup and 1 decoction of deworming powder. He was very familiar with the former, so it was easy for him to decoct it. The latter was relatively simple. It took him a little more than a morning to decoct the 2 decoctions. I can go to see Wei Hai in the afternoon. He called Wang Mingbao and asked him to tell Wei Hai that he would go to see Wei Hai in the afternoon. In the afternoon, Wei Hai arrived at Wang Mingbao's shop early. "Brother, can I ask you something?" Wei Hai asked with a smile. Now, he was in high spirits because of the improvement of his condition. He was in a good mood and looked much better than before. Also, his mental burden had been reduced, and the quality of his sleep at night was much better. For the past few days, he had been thinking about how to thank Dr. Wang. Directly giving him money was practical, but would it be too vulgar? Therefore, he wanted to start with Dr. Wang's preferences. A few days ago, he was in a state of panic and anxiety, so he did not think about this at all. What's the matter? Does Dr. Wang have any preferences? I want to express my gratitude. Preferences? Wang Mingbao lowered his head and thought for a moment. I don't see him having any special preferences. He just likes drinking tea and some ancient Chinese medicine utensils. Tea antiques. Wei Hai extracted 2 important pieces of information from it. I see. Thank you. In fact, he doesn't particularly care about these things. As long as you concentrate and cooperate with his treatment, it's better than anything else. I still have to express my gratitude. Wang Mingbao shook his head with a smile. He had seen with his own eyes how much the person in front of him had changed. He admired this brother of his even more. At about 2 p.m., Wang Yao came to Wang Mingbao's store. "Why don't you come to my place?" Wei Hai asked. "There's no need for that. Today is a follow-up visit. We can do it here." Wang Yao checked Wang Mingbao's pulse for a follow-up examination. His condition had indeed improved. "Well, your illness is getting better. Continue to take the medicine. Increase the amount of deworming powder, double the amount you took last time. The amount of regather soup can remain unchanged for the time being," Wang Yao said. "Here is 1 dose of deworming powder and 2 doses of regather soup." "Oh, okay. Thank you." Wei Hai took the 3 decoctions with both hands. This was something that couldn't be bought with money. "Dr. Wang, are you free tonight? Do you want to have dinner together?" Wei Hai asked tentatively. He had been wanting to invite Wang Yao to dinner to express his gratitude, but Wang Yao had never agreed. "No, you don't have to. You just need to take care of yourself. It's better to eat less of the food in the restaurant," Wang Yao said with a smile. Okay. Wei Hai left with a smile. "Look, he is so happy," Wang Mingbao said as he watched Wang Yao leave. Yes, Wang Yao had a smile on his face. He had a sense of satisfaction. This was the difference between the profession of a doctor and other professions. "If there's nothing else, I'll go back first." Okay. After leaving Wang Mingbao's store, Wang Yao drove to the county hospital out of curiosity. He found that the patient's family members were still there. Several policemen were also there to maintain law and order. They were afraid that things would get worse. "Hey, why are you here?" "He happened to run into Pan Jun. I just dropped by. The matter hasn't been resolved yet. The leaders in the hospital are talking to the family members. They should be done soon," Pan Jun said. "That was close." "Why? Did you go to the emergency department first?" Pan Jun asked. "Yes, I was in charge of the examination," Pan Jun said. "I just felt that his heart was a little abnormal and the blood supply to his brain was insufficient. I sent him to the relevant department for further treatment. The patient soon developed complications, so I wanted to invite you." However, within 3 hours of hospitalization, he suddenly suffered from internal bleeding. "Hemorrhage?" Pan Jun asked. "Yes, it was probably an aneurysm, and the location was very special. I didn't find it during the examination, but suddenly developed, causing the blood vessels to rupture and hemorrhage," Pan Jun explained. "You were also affected?" Pan Jun asked. "I was definitely affected. After all, the patient was treated by me. However, it wasn't that serious. He didn't die in my department. I was just implicated, Pan Jun said. That's good. Wang Yao had a good impression of Pan Jun. It was not only because they had a cooperative relationship. He saw a rare quality of a doctor from this burly man. He was worried about the patient wholeheartedly. He was not familiar with the patient's work. I'll go first. Okay, be careful on the way. In an elegant house in Jing, thousands of miles away, it was a large bedroom with a very warm decoration. There was a big bed in the middle. It looked very soft. There was a gauze curtain outside. A person was lying on the bed. The person was wrapped in gauze and wore a gauze cloak. The whole room was filled with a strange fragrance. If one sniffed carefully, there was also a stench. The fragrance was to cover up the stench. In addition to the strange patient on the bed, there were 3 other people in the room. One was a middle-aged man who looked to be in his 40s. He had an extraordinary temperament. One was a woman who looked to be in her 30s. She was graceful and luxurious. The last person was the man, surnamed Gu, who had accompanied Guisairu and He Qixing to hike to invite Wang Yao. He had only brought back a dose of medicine. At this time, he was diagnosing the patient on the bed. After a while, he moved his hand away. How is it? The woman asked softly. From the pulse, Mrs. Body has slightly improved, the man surnamed Gu said. Really? The woman's voice was full of surprise. Yes, the pulse has become more stable. This is a sign that the vitality in the body has increased, the man surnamed Gu said. So, the doctor who didn't want to show up does have extraordinary skills? The middle-aged man asked. I can't say for other things, but this medicine is really magical and extraordinary, the man surnamed Gu said. Ah Chung, take care, Xiaoxua, the middle-aged man said. Chief, I will do my best even if you don't tell me, the middle-aged man said. He had watched the girl on the bed grow up. She was like half a daughter to him. In order to cure her strange disease, he had done everything he could. I will ask the old man again. Let's go to the Guo family, the middle-aged man said. He looked at his daughter lying on the bed. His eyes were full of love. As long as his daughter's disease could be cured, he would do anything. This was a father. He usually didn't speak, but he was as tall as a mountain. In another antique building in Jing City. Hey, what is this young man thinking? An old man who looked to be in his 70s was lying on an old rot-tan chair. Chief, don't think too much. Next to him stood a man in his 40s. He was his personal doctor. Recently, the chief's body had begun to show the same symptoms as before. It was deteriorating day by day. Although he had taken the 2 miraculous decoctions last year to temporarily delay the situation and forcibly pull him back from the brink of death, coupled with the cooperation of several national masters, his body had greatly improved. However, he was still in his 80s. Natural aging was unavoidable. It was something that couldn't be helped. Xiaoxua, this girl, just as he was sighing, a secretary came in from outside. Look, the 2 from his Su family are here again, the old man said with a smile. As they were talking, the father and son entered the small courtyard. During dinner, Wang Yao's mother suddenly said, Yao, can you find time to go to your grandmother's? What's wrong? Wang Yao hurriedly asked. Your grandmother has been saying that she can't sleep recently. She can't sleep. I'll go and have a look after dinner, Wang Yao said as he sped up his eating. There's no hurry. It's not easy to walk at night. It's fine. Wang Yao waved his hand. After dinner, Wang Yao and his mother went to his grandmother's house together. When Wang Yao was young, he stayed at his grandmother's house for a long time. The 2 elders were very good to him. Therefore, he was particularly close to his grandparents. Why are you here? Wang Yao's grandparents were very surprised to see them. Have you eaten? Yes, we have. Yao heard that you can't sleep well at night, so he immediately rushed over, Zhang Xiaoying said. Hey, it's not a big deal. Besides, can't we come back tomorrow? It's okay, Grandma. Anyway, there's nothing to do after dinner. Besides, it's not far from here. It's more than a 10-minute drive. Let me take a look for you, Wang Yao said. Okay, let's take a look. Wang Yao checked the old woman's pulse and found that there was no big problem. The old woman's health was quite good. It's nothing. You're in good health. How about this? I'll go back and make a prescription. You should feel better after drinking it, Wang Yao said. Hey, I told you it was nothing, but your mother insisted on telling you. Wang Yao and his mother didn't stay long before leaving. Is your grandmother okay? Of course, she's fine. Didn't I just tell you at my grandmother's house? Wang Yao smiled and said, I guess my grandmother is thinking about something at night. She can't sleep because of it. It's most likely related to my aunt's pregnancy. You should talk to her more when you're free. It's this again. I see. After returning home, Wang Yao went up the hill and prepared the materials overnight. He decocted a dose of enchantment. In addition to the original herbs, he also added some shanjing to it to strengthen the old woman's body function. The next morning, after finishing his practice on the hill, Wang Yao drove to deliver the medicine to the old woman. He bought some things in town and told the old woman how to take the medicine. After chatting with his grandparents for a while, he left. Chapter 168. After returning home, he began to prepare to make the pills. Ginseng, glossy ganoderma, shanjing guyuan. These herbs had to be roasted properly first, then ground into powder and sifted. If it was not suitable, he had to continue grinding and sifting. This process repeated several times. Every medicinal herb was turned into fine powder, exuding a unique smell. Wang Yao carefully packed them and marked them. It took him a whole day to do all this work. The next day, he began to process the other herbs. Moonlight, ziyu, iron plum. These herbs would lose a lot of efficacy if they were roasted with heat, so Wang Yao chose to boil them into clear soup with ancient spring water. It took him another day to prepare like this. When returning home in the evening, Wang Yao heard his mother talking about his aunt's pregnancy again. Your uncle asked someone to check it. He said it's a girl, and he doesn't want it anymore, Wang Yao's mother said. A girl? How long has she been pregnant? Can you tell? Wang Yao frowned slightly. It's been almost 3 months. Your uncle said he asked someone in the hospital to help him. He can tell. My aunt is in her 40s, right? Wang Yao said. If she has an abortion at this time, it will take her at least half a year to get pregnant again. Can her body bear it? When you have time, you should persuade my uncle. What era is it now? It's the same whether it's a boy or a girl. At 3 months, the fetus had already developed. If she had an abortion at this time, it would not only harm the pregnant woman's body, but also disrespect a life. Unless the fetus was born with a congenital abnormality or other non-human factors, it was not recommended to abort. Your uncle doesn't want it, but your grandma and grandpa also want a grandson, Zhang Xiaoying said. Wang Yao was silent. He did not agree with this view very much. He was quite repulsed. After all, he was the younger generation. Some things could only be said to his parents. Some things could not be said. After dinner, Wang Yao seriously told his mother, Mom, you should persuade them. If the baby is healthy, it's better to keep it. Well, I'll persuade your uncle again, Zhang Xiaoying said. She rarely saw her son talk to her so seriously. Yao is right. It's the same whether it's a boy or a girl. Wang Yao's father said. This was a very rare statement. In fact, Wang Yao's father rarely expressed his opinion about the affairs of Wang Yao's grandma's family, especially his uncle's affairs. Wang Yao's mother and siblings, 3 elder sisters, and 1 younger brother. His uncle was very favored. His 3 elder sisters would listen to him no matter what. Wang Yao's mother was the oldest, so she worried the most. His second aunt was now in Beijing. She would go home at most once a year. His youngest aunt was in Lianshan County. Now, his uncle would ask his 2 elder sisters for help if he had any problems. In this regard, although his father did not say anything, he had some opinions. Just like Wang Yao's mother had opinions about his 2 uncles, they were all on their own family's side. The 2 of them were the same. After dinner, Wang Yao he said to his parents, I won't go down the mountain tomorrow. He was going to make the pills on the mountain tomorrow. It should take a long time. In order to avoid distraction, he decided not to go down the mountain. What are you doing now? Making medicine. That's okay. His mother did not ask much. At around 7 p.m., Wang Yao went out and went to the south of the village. He then walked quickly. His speed was really like the wind. If he was seen by others, they might really think that they had seen a ghost in the dark. Not long after flying away, Wang Yao stopped abruptly. He turned his head and looked at a field where hay was piled up. There was a sound coming from there. Be gentle. Babe, I miss you so much. It's only been a few days. You can't stand it anymore. It turned out that a pair of wild lovebirds were doing something that was not suitable for children. "How's your sick husband's illness?" Wang Yao, who was about to leave, suddenly stopped. "He's still the same. He's sick all day. He's half dead like a heavy smoker," the woman said with dissatisfaction. "Then I can't satisfy you. Don't I have you? Then I'll let you have a good time." Listening to the disgusting conversation, Wang Yao frowned. His face was a little gloomy. Of course it was night. No one could see. What a beautiful night. Wang Yao looked up at the sky. The moon was as cold as water. The stars were speckled. What a disgusting man and woman. He lowered his head and looked at the wild lovebirds who were burning with passion behind the haystack. They did not know there was someone nearby. Faced with such a situation, Wang Yao felt that he had to do something. "Hey, what are you doing?" He roared like a lion. It was like thunder. He used the true chi in his body for this roar, which was no small matter. It was really like thunder, especially in this silent night. At least half of the people in the village could hear it. And what was even more exaggerated was that almost all the windows in the nearest villager's house were slightly shaken. "Oh my God!" The man who was working hard immediately went soft. A gust of wind blew. He only felt cold all over. The woman was even more dumbfounded. The two of them ran out without pulling up their pants. As a result, they saw darkness. Near them was an empty field. In the distance was a quiet mountain forest. There was not a single person. No one. Then what was the roar just now? The two of them were already guilty in their hearts. Now, they were even more frightened. If it was daytime, it would be obvious that their faces were pale. It was as if they had seen a ghost. "Hey, I'm suddenly in a good mood." Wang Yao had done a good deed without leaving his name. He had already reached Nanshan Hill. He looked down the hill and sighed. I don't know how their psychological endurance is. If they were interrupted in such an intense way, or if they were interrupted in a way that frightened them, it might leave a lasting illness. Wang Yao said with a smile. The dog next to him shook his tail and looked up. He looked at his master standing there and talking to himself in confusion. "Poop Picker, what's going on tonight? It feels weird." Wang Yao sat outside the hut with a folding stool. He looked up at the quiet night sky. The breeze was blowing on his face. It was very comfortable. After staring at the sky for a while, Wang Yao said with a smile, "Well, it seems that the weather tomorrow will be good. It's just right for making pills." The next day, the weather was really good. The sun was bright, and the spring breeze was warm. The goshawk on the tree spread its wings and flew into the sky to patrol its kingdom. As the overlord of the sky, the goshawk's range of activities was very wide. San Xian was strolling leisurely in his territory. Over the past few days, he and the goshawk had worked together to clean up all the snakes, insects, rats, and ants that dared to enter the territory. The mountain forest returned to its peaceful state. In the hut, Wang Yao took out the materials that he had prepared in advance. "San Xian, I want to make pills. Unauthorized people are not allowed to enter." Wang Yao shouted outside. "Woof, woof, woof, woof." The dog heard Wang Yao shout and responded twice to show that it had heard him. It then changed direction and came to the only road that led to the medicine field. Its pair of eyes stared down. At this time, it was not an ordinary dog. It was the king of the land in the territory. Of course, except for the poop picker in the hut who was doing something unknown. In the cottage, Wang Yao carefully wiped the medicine board clean. Then, he took out a brush and gently brushed it with the decoction he had brewed the day before. Then, he quickly sprinkled a kind of powder made of herbs into the decoction. Then, he gently shook the decoction board with a special rhythm and continued to brush it. He was very careful during the whole process. These medicinal herbs were very precious. Unlike the pills that he had made a few days ago to test and familiarize himself with the production process, the ingredients used could not be sloppy. The medicinal powder in the medicine board slowly turned into pills. At first, it was the size of a grain of rice. It gradually became bigger. The mixture of all kinds of medicinal herbs formed a unique medicinal fragrance. At this time, Wang Yao was like a skillful painter and also like a master sculptor. Chapter 169. Sprinkle the powder. Brush the decoction. Bumpy. He repeated the process again and again. Every step was very careful. The pills gradually took shape in the medicine tablet and slowly became bigger. It was best not to interrupt the process and succeed in one go. Outside the cottage, the sun rose. It was red like fire. Then, the sun rose to the middle of the sky. It was done. Just as the sun in the sky was about to rise to the highest point of the day, the pills and the medicine tablet in the cottage had been made. There were not as many pills as before. There were only a dozen pills. They were slightly bigger, about the size of a peanut. Phew! Wang Yao let out a sigh of relief. The whole process seemed to be simple and repetitive, but it consumed a lot of energy. Fortunately, there was not too much waste. These 13 pills were made of all kinds of precious herbs. Some of them were even licorice roots that could not be seen in the world. It was obvious how precious they were. When the pills were made, there was no howling wind, no lightning, and no change of weather. Outside the cottage, the sky was high and the wind was gentle. I wonder how effective these pills are. Wang Yao picked up a pill. He could only smell the unique fragrance of the pill. It was not strong, but it went straight to the heart. Let San Xian try it. He turned to look at San Xian, who was still doing his job. Forget it. I'll try it myself. Wang Yao put the pill into his mouth and swallowed it. After the pill entered his stomach, it turned into a mass of heat. Wang Yao felt warm in his stomach. Then, the heat turned into thousands of streams and flowed to every corner of his body in a very short time. His body was warm. It was as if he was bathing in the warm sun. It was indescribable comfort. It was not only physical comfort, but also mental comfort. It was a double pleasure. This feeling lasted for about half an hour. During this process, his body seemed to have undergone some kind of sublimation. When he stood up again, he only felt that he was full of energy. His originally strong body seemed to have improved by another level. This medicine seems to be very impressive. Wang Yao sighed. His body's various qualities were already several times better than an ordinary person's body. Even so, after taking this pill, he still received such an effect. If it were an ordinary person, then the effect would be even more obvious. Why don't you ask the system about the effects of this pill? Wang Yao called out the system and asked if it could identify the medicinal properties of the pill. In the end, the reply he got was that the level was not high enough and could not be checked. What about the value? Wang Yao simply placed it in the medicine shop and prepared to exchange for it. As a result, the price offered by the medicine shop shocked him. 180 redemption points? This price was a little too high. A mid-grade spirit herb was only 100 exchange points, and with the system's nature, this price was definitely on the low side. Do you want to exchange? No. Wang Yao decisively refused. Then, he carefully collected the pills and placed them into a porcelain bottle that he had prepared beforehand. This was a treasure that could not be exchanged with money. In fact, in order to make more than a dozen pills, he had used a lot of spirit herbs, not to mention wild 100-year-old ginseng, glossy ganoderma, and other rare herbs. In addition, he had the multifunctional pot for herbs and ancient spring water. The effect of these things added together was not as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. After the pills were made, he had to give them a name. What should I name this pill? In some novels, some expensive pills had some flashy names, such as Eternal Creation Pill, Snow Ginseng Jade Toad Pill, Half-Step Crazy Smile, and so on. Got it. Let's call it the Prolongation Pill for the time being. It had the meaning of avoiding death and prolonging life. There were only 12 pills left. In a short time, Wang Yao did not intend to make any more. Making this pill consumed a lot of energy. First, the herbs were hard to come by. In order to make the prolongation pill, Wang Yao had used up all his redemption points. Second, it required a long time to prepare. Don't underestimate the short 3 days. He had prepared for more than a month. Third, although it did not have the fantasy of taking 49 days to make the pill like in novels or movies, the process of making the pill consumed a lot of energy. Without several months of preparation and accumulation, it was difficult to make the pill. Phew! Wang Yao let out a long sigh of relief. He opened the door and left the cottage. San Xian, it's done. Thank you. Woof! Woof! San Xian barked twice. Then He turned around and slowly went up the hill to patrol the territory. Right? There is still an urgent task that has not been completed. Wang Yao had not completed the task of getting 100 people's recognition within 100 days. However, the time was almost up. There are still 12 days left. I still need 15 people. Wang Yao rubbed his forehead. Except for Panjun, he had not thought of a better solution. Should I go there for 2 more days this week? Wang Yao concentrated on making the pill on the hill. He was worried about the task. In the village at the foot of the hill, there was a lot of gossip. Of course, the main characters this time were not Wang Yao, but unknown people. Did you hear the shout last night? Yes, I heard it. It was like thunder. How could I not hear it? I heard that someone was hiding in the haystack outside. Oh, Feng Bao's wife and Feng Bo. No way. They are not out of the 5 servers yet. In the village, this was more interesting than someone jumping into the river to commit suicide. It was immoral. However, it was spread by people. It was almost turned into a novel. As one of the main characters of this incident, a male comrade was at home. He was covered with a quilt and shivering all over. After the scare on the hill yesterday, he suddenly had a fever when he returned home. Then he felt cold all over. He felt cold even though he was covered with a quilt. It was different from the cold in the middle of winter. It was cold, gloomy and cold. What did you do last night? His wife came back from outside. Her face was extremely ugly. She heard the gossip outside and noticed the strange look in the villagers' eyes when they looked at her. In the village, no matter who it was, they would feel ashamed and unable to raise their heads. Nothing. Don't listen to the nonsense outside. I'm cold. Hurry up and get a doctor to come and take a look. The man was trembling as he spoke. You deserve to die from the cold. His wife's face was gloomy. She went back to the house to pack her things and took the child back to her parents' house. The man was dumbfounded. The other family was not much better. They threw pots and smashed bowls. I can't live like this anymore. As the other party, she was clearly not in the right, but she still made a scene. Yes, I can't live like this anymore. Divorce. Her husband was so angry that his face turned red and his body trembled. This incident caused the 2 families to be unable to live in peace. Wang Yao heard this gossip from Wang Mingbao. He went back to the village in the afternoon and went up the hill to bring him something. Divorce? Yes, you don't know about such a big thing. I didn't go down the hill. Did what happened last night spread so fast? Wang Yao said, What's this? It's the most gossip-worthy news. It's more entertaining than you jumping into the river that day, Wang Mingbao said with a smile. Hey, who do you think was the one who shouted? Cough, cough, cough. Don't tell me it was you. Wang Mingbao was stunned. Went up the hill in the dark? You don't say. There's no one else in the village except for you. Wang Yao really did not expect that a shout would have such a destructive effect. It directly divided the 2 families. At that time, he simply could not stand it. I couldn't stand it either. I didn't expect the consequences to be so serious. This kind of thing will be exposed sooner or later. There's no such thing as an airtight wall in the world. Besides, you're spreading positive energy. Don't talk nonsense. You don't have to bring anything. I didn't bring this. Someone asked me to bring it to you. It's Dongting Bilyukan. It's a famous tea. It's good stuff, Wang Mingbao said with a smile. Oh, guess. Wang Mingbao said with a smile. Li Mao Shuang? No, Wei Hai. Wei Hai. A few days ago, he specifically asked me about your preferences. I told him you like tea, so he asked someone to get this tea. It's the original spring tea. It's very precious. Okay, take a box back and drink it. How can I do that? He specially sent it to you. Let's just try it. Wang Mingbao stayed there for a while. He came this time to ask Wang Yao for a favor. Your uncle? Yes. Well, let's go and have a look tomorrow. Okay. It turned out that Wang Mingbao's uncle had a strange disease. He wanted Wang Yao to go and have a look. Chapter 170. The next day, Wang Yao finished his practice and was ready to go down the hill. San Xian, I'm going down the hill. Unauthorized people are not allowed to enter. Before leaving, Wang Yao placed the 3 stones in the only path that could be entered. A gust of wind blew. When he turned around, the path was gone. There was no way to enter. It's a bit hot today. I'll go to Yao's place and asked for some water. An old man who herded sheep walked towards the cottage not far away with an iron kettle. As soon as he walked to the cottage, he felt that the small tree, which was as tall as a person and as wide as 2 fingers, suddenly shook. It seemed that it was still moving and running. The old man felt dizzy because of the shaking. "Ouch, my head hurts." The old man quickly turned his eyes to the side and felt better. "What's going on? Why is the tree running?" The old man turned his head slightly. The same thing happened again. Then he felt dizzy again. He was so scared that he didn't dare to look again. He rested on the spot for a while and turned around to leave. There's something wrong with this forest. After going down the hill, Wang Yao and Wang Mingbao went to the county town and went to his uncle's house. As soon as they entered the house, they smelled a smell of medicine and a faint stench. "Uncle, Auntie, the doctor I invited is here. Yao, come and sit down." Wang Mingbao's aunt hurried to find Wang Yao. They had lived in the village for a long time, so they all knew Wang Yao. "Don't be busy. Can you see my uncle first?" "Oh, okay." Although he had doubts in his heart, Wang Mingbao's uncle was very cooperative. His illness was on his back. There were 4 malignant sores in total. The big ones were the size of a cup, and the small ones were the size of a thumb. The wounds were rotten, oozing pus, and emitting a foul smell. "Let me check your pulse." After checking his pulse, Wang Yao determined the cause of the disease. Wang Mingbao's uncle had heat poison in his body, which spread to his back and formed the malignant sores. "Uncle, what medicine have you taken?" "They're all in the cabinet." Wang Mingbao's aunt took them out for him to have a look. There were ointments, tablets, and potions. There were all kinds of Chinese and Western medicine. "How long have you been sick?" "It's been almost 2 months. At first, it was fine and I didn't think much of it. Later on, it became more and more serious." "Less than 2 months?" Wang Yao did a quick count and found that he had used no less than 6 types of medicine. This should be because the medicine he took did not have any effect, and he did not insist on changing the medicine frequently. The more he did this, the harder it was to see the effect. Instead, it would cause adverse stimulation to his body, causing his condition to worsen. "Don't take these medicines." Wang Yao pointed out a few Western medicines. In the treatment of malignant sores, some methods and medicines of traditional Chinese medicine were more effective. "I'll go back and prepare some medicine for you. I'll get Ming Bao to bring it over tomorrow." "Oh, okay." The couple insisted that the 2 of them stay for dinner, but Wang Yao refused. "I remember that Yao majored in biology. When did he learn how to treat patients? It's not just about seeing. I heard that his medical skills are quite good." "Who did you hear that from?" "My brother, Ming Bao's father." After Wang Yao and Wang Mingbao left, only the couple was left in the house. Some things that were not suitable to be said just now could be said. After leaving the house, Wang Mingbao asked, "How's my uncle's illness?" "He's fine." This illness was not particularly difficult to treat. It could only be regarded as a common miscellaneous disease. At most, it was a little difficult to treat. "That's good. I'll brew the medicine after I go back. You can come and get it tomorrow." "Okay." After returning to the village, Wang Yao was about to go up the hill directly. However, he was called into the house by his mother, who had heard the sound of the car. As soon as they entered the house, Zhang Xiuying asked, "What did you do on the hill? What's wrong?" This question stunned Wang Yao. "This morning, your grandfather, Zhang Wo, came over. He said that when he saw the tree on the hill, he felt dizzy. When he went down the hill, his blood pressure was very high. He was shocked." "What happened?" "Oh," after hearing what his mother said, Wang Yao understood what had happened. It must be that after he had activated the illusion, someone had approached him. It happened to be an old man. His health was not good to begin with. After being affected by the illusion caused by the tree, he could not stand it. "Maybe he's allergic to some of the herbs I planted," Wang Yao said. Usually very few people went to his place. Moreover, he had learned his lesson. When he was on the hill, the illusion was not activated. This time it should be a coincidence. "Allergic?" "Yes, I planted a lot of herbs there. Some have a special smell, and some will disperse pollen. It's the easiest time to be allergic to them." "Will you have any problems there?" As a parent, the first thing they thought of was their child. This was almost an instinctive reaction. "No, I'm used to it. I won't be allergic. Wang Yao said with a smile. Oh, that's good. If there's nothing else, I'll go up the hill. It's already so late. Why don't you go after lunch? Okay. Wang Yao looked at his watch. It was almost 11 p.m. Your uncle said that he has decided to keep the child, regardless of whether it's a boy or a girl, Wang Yao's mother said during lunch. Oh, that's right, Wang Yao said with a smile. Your grandmother has taken the medicine you gave her. She's much better. That's good. Wang Yao smiled. After lunch, Wang Yao went up Nanshan Hill again. When he was going up the hill, he was thinking about the problem just now. The illusion made people hallucinate. If some people had heart disease or high blood pressure and collapsed outside his herbal field, it would not be good. Is there a better way? Wang Yao went up the hill. Just like in the herbal field, he moved the mountain rocks and broke the illusion. Naturally, the illusion disappeared. Quack, quack. Woof, woof. The goshawk and the dog seemed to be talking about something. Wang Yao went over to take a look and found that the goshawk had gotten a snake from somewhere. It seemed that the goshawk wanted to share it with the dog, but the dog obviously had not eaten such a rare thing and did not know how to deal with it. Woof, woof, woof. It barked when it saw Wang Yao coming over. As it barked, it pointed at the dead snake on the ground with its paw. Why? Do you want me to roast it for you? You'd better not eat this thing. Let the xia eat it himself. Wait, snake. Looking at the dead snake on the ground, Wang Yao's eyes lit up. If there were snakes nearby, people who went up the hill would naturally have scruples. As a result, there would only be fewer people coming. This was a way, but where could he get a snake? Moreover, the snake had to be as intelligent as the dog and the goshawk. Otherwise, it would be troublesome if people came up and attacked. It was even more difficult to meet these requirements. I'll think of other ways. In fact, because Wang Yao planted a lot of trees near the herbal field and some thorny plants on some trampled paths, almost no people came up the hill. Except for some extremely special reasons. What happened this morning was purely an accident. After entering the cottage, Wang Yao first recorded the symptoms of Wang Mingbao's uncle, and then wrote down the treatment plan he thought of at the back. He selected a few herbs according to the ancient prescription, all of which were planted in his herbal field. They had the effect of cooling the blood and removing heat toxins. Finally, he went out and broke a leaf of licorice roots, pear grass, shaped like wormwood, with red flowers, to remove ulcers. He planted this licorice root earlier and it grew better, but he was not willing to use it all. He only broke 2 leaves, a few herbs, a small amount of ancient spring water, heated it slightly, and made a thick juice. A medicine was ready. When it was close to evening, Wang Yao was eating at home when he suddenly received a call. It was from Zhou Xiong, who asked if he was at home. He had an urgent matter to visit. After hanging up the phone less than 20 minutes, Zhou Xiong came to his house with another middle-aged man who looked similar to Zhou Xiong. This man was his cousin, Zhou Ying. The purpose of the visit was to ask Wang Yao to go to Sangzhou to treat a patient. Sangzhou. Wang Yao hesitated. Dr. Wang, I beg you. If you go late, I'm afraid my uncle's life will be in danger. Zhou Xiong seemed to be very anxious. Sangzhou was not particularly far from Lianshan County. It was more than 300 kilometers away. It would take 6 to 7 hours to drive there. It's a matter of life and death. Why don't you go? Wang Yao's mother was standing next to him. She had seen Zhou Xiong and his son a few times before and had a good impression of them. Okay, I'll go. Before leaving, he left the decoction that he decocted for Wang Mingbao's uncle at home and wrote down the method of taking it. Before leaving, he went to Nanshan Hill again to activate the 5 elements magic array and told his parents not to go up the mountain. After that, he set off with Zhou Xiong and his brother that night. They had prepared a high-end nanny van for Wang Yao, which was very comfortable. Sorry to trouble you. On the way, Zhou Xiong thanked and apologized a lot. His son's illness had improved thanks to Dr. Wang. He had not repaid this kindness, and now he had to trouble Dr. Wang to go to Sangzhou. In fact, even if Wang Yao refused, they could not do anything. The reason why Wang Yao agreed was that he felt Zhou Xiong was a person worth making friends with. He was a responsible man. His elder brother was a man of few words, but he did express his feelings. I can treat the illness, but I can't guarantee that it will be cured. In addition, Brother Zhou should know my rules. Yes, this matter is only known to me, my father, and my cousin, Zhou Xiong said. Well, that's good. The car drove very fast on the road. It arrived in Sangzhou at about 1 a.m. in Zhou Xiong's hometown, in a village. It was late at night. In addition to the street lights in the village, only a few houses still had their lights on. The road in the village was very wide. There were cars parked on both sides of the road. The village looked very rich. There were many good cars. The car stopped in front of a courtyard in the village. This is my uncle's house. I'll arrange it first. Please wait a moment. Zhou Xiong went into the house. About 10 minutes later, Zhou Xiong came out with his father. After seeing Wang Yao, Zhou Xiong's father stepped forward and said, Dr. Wang, thank you so much. You're welcome. Let's see the patient first. Okay, please come with me. Wang Yao followed them into the courtyard. The courtyard was quite big. There were some flowers and trees. In the corner, there were 2 wooden dummies and a row of weapons. Chapter 171. After entering the room, Wang Yao saw the patient. An old man in his 70s with gray hair and beard was lying unconscious on the bed. His face was pale gold, and his breathing was weak. Beside the bed sat an old man with white hair and beard. He was wearing a Tang suit. He was thin, but his eyes were bright. He was taking the patient's pulse. Sigh. The old man, taking the pulse, sighed. How is it, Mr. Sang? Zhou Ying, who had been quiet on the way here, asked anxiously. I can't do anything. You have to be mentally prepared, the old man with the surname Sang said after thinking for a moment. He got up and found that there was another person in the room. He was very young and had an indescribable temperament that made people want to take a second look at him. Who is this young man? Oh, he is... Zhou Xiong was about to say that Wang Yao was their relative, but Wang Yao spoke first. Hello, Mr. Sang. I'm a pharmacist, Wang Yao said with a smile. He took the initiative to reveal his identity because when he saw the old man, he felt a strange sense of familiarity. To put it simply, the old man's temperament was very similar to his. Ancient pharmacist? The old man was slightly stunned. Yes. Haha, I haven't heard such a title in a long time. How should I address you, little friend? The old man's tone was very kind. Whether it was his expression or his words, there was not a trace of disdain or arrogance. This made Wang Yao admire the old man even more. Wang Yao, little friend, please. Wang Yao did not stand on ceremony. He sat by the bed and took the patient's pulse. As he made the diagnosis, his brows gradually furrowed. After a while, he moved his fingers away. How was it, Dr. Wang? Zhou Xiong's father asked softly. He knew that Wang Yao was extraordinary. The poison has entered his internal organs. His tendons and veins are in disorder. His blood flow is in reverse. He has many fractures and internal organs are damaged. There are so many problems, but any one of them could be a fatal threat to a person. The patient was like an old ship riddled with holes, but it was still sailing in the middle of a storm. It was a miracle that it could last until now. Mr. Sang nodded with a smile after hearing Wang Yao's diagnosis. Unlike the people Wang Yao had met before, when he said that he was a pharmacist, the old man's heart was filled with surprise and expectation. This title had been silent for too long, so long that people didn't even know that there was such an occupation in ancient times and that there was such a title. And this young man's performance did not disgrace this title. He did it by taking the pulse and determining the illness. Is there a way to treat it? Not at the moment. Wang Yao shook his head. This kind of patient basically had one foot in the door of hell. It would be too difficult to pull him back. As he spoke, the patient who was lying on the bed suddenly breathed rapidly. His body began to sweat like beads of oil. Not good. Wang Yao and Mr. Sang shouted at the same time. Sweat like oil. This was a sign of a critical illness, and the yang energy was about to disappear. Wang Yao hurriedly put his hand on the patient. His pulse was extremely weak and seemed to be about to stop. Mr. Sang leaned over and touched the patient's limbs. They were already cold. Ying, the unconscious old man, opened his mouth to speak, but his voice was very weak. He seemed to be calling for his son. This was a sign of terminal lucidity. Dad! Zhou Xiong's cousin suddenly knelt by the bed. This man, who had been silent all the way, was now crying like beads of broken string. This was Wang Yao's first time seeing such a scene at such a close distance. The Grim Reaper had come and was about to take this old man away. Wait. Wang Yao suddenly thought of the prolongation pill he had just refined. This pill might be useful. Don't cry. Wang Yao's mind moved. His stiff hand reached into his pocket and took out the bottle of pills. He poured out one pill, and a faint fragrance immediately spread out. Help him up. Zhou Ying hurriedly helped his father up, and then cooperated with Wang Yao to put the pill into his mouth. Mr. Sang, who was beside him, gently patted his throat and back. It's done. Zhou Ying slowly put his father down. They did not know what medicine Wang Yao had just given the patient, so they could only wait anxiously at the side. The old man was unconscious again, but his breathing, which was like gossamer and could stop at any time, seemed to have stabilized. This is... Mr. Sang hurried to the patient's side. He did not care about his image and reached out to check his pulse. The originally faint pulse became continuous and steadier. He then tested the limbs and found that they were warmer. Listening to the heartbeat, it was also much stronger. In other words, the unconscious patient was temporarily free from the threat of death. What did you give him? Mr. Sang looked at Wang Yao in shock. He had been practicing medicine for half of his life, and this was the first time he had encountered such a situation. A patient who he could not do anything about, who showed all kinds of signs indicating that he was about to lose his life, had actually been reversed. To forcibly pull a dying person back from the brink of death, probably only the legendary elixir or divine herb could have such an effect. Let's wait and see. Wang Yao did not answer directly. Instead, he changed the topic. The few of them waited in the room. About an hour had passed, and they were basically sure that the patient lying on the bed was no longer in danger of dying. Moreover, his vital signs were strengthening. His lips moved, and his eyes blinked a few times. This was a sign that he was about to wake up. He had been unconscious for a long time, and he was about to wake up from his coma. The impact of this was still very strong. As a result, in the entire room, except for the person lying on the bed, everyone looked at Wang Yao in a different light, especially Mr. Sang. Dr. Wang, what about my father's illness? The first to speak was indeed Zhou Ying, who still had tears in the corners of his eyes. I have temporarily saved his life. As for the treatment of this illness, I need to think about it carefully. I'm not sure. If he was not sure, then it could be treated. There is hope. Sigh. Let the patient rest. There needs to be a careful person to look after him. The few of them went out. Zhou Xiong and his son were left to accompany Wang Yao and Mr. Sang. Zhou Ying was busy arranging accommodation for Wang Yao. Young friend, can I have a few words in private? Mr. Sang was not in a hurry to leave. He had something to talk to Wang Yao alone. Sure. Wang Yao had a good impression of Mr. Sang, so he agreed. The two of them went to the courtyard. May I take the liberty to ask, who is your teacher? Mr. Sang asked with a smile. At this moment, he was like a kind elder. In his impression, there was no old man he knew who could cultivate such an outstanding talent, let alone the miraculous effect of the pill he had just taken out. If I said that this was a gift from the heavens, would you believe me? Wang Yao asked with a smile. The ability he had now was entirely due to the help of the system. If this mysterious system was not a gift from the heavens, then what was it? A gift from the heavens? Mr. Sang was slightly stunned when he heard this answer. Haha. Then he laughed. An opportunity given to you by the heavens? Yes. Wang Yao answered very seriously. Can you tell me the name of the pill you just gave Zhou Wui? Prolongation pill. Prolongation pill. Avoiding death and prolonging life? Mr. Sang instantly understood the meaning of the name of the pill. Yes. Good name, good pill. You flatter me. You better not take out this pill in front of others so easily. It is too precious and will easily attract the attention of some people, causing them to have evil thoughts, Mr. Sang kindly reminded him. I know. Today's matter was urgent and a life was at stake. Otherwise, he would not have used the prolongation pill in front of so many people. However, the effect of the pill had once again made him understand what miraculous effect it had. It had actually saved a person who was about to die. "May I know your name, Mr. Sang?" Wang Yao asked respectfully. "My name is Sanguzi. I am just an old man," Mr. Sang said with a smile. This was the first time Wang Yao had heard this name, but it was a well-known name in Songzhou. He was one of the few famous doctors in Songzhou. His medical skills were extraordinary, and his medical ethics were unquestionable. He was deeply respected by people. Chapter 172. It's late. I need to go back and rest. "My young friend, you should rest early too," Mr. Sang said. "Okay, take care." Wang Yao walked Mr. Sang to the door. There were people arranged by the Zhou family waiting for him. They asked him to get in the car and then left. The Zhou family arranged a room for Wang Yao in the courtyard. It was not that there were no other places in the village. They were worried that something would happen to Mr. Zhou, who was still in a coma, so they could find Wang Yao in the shortest time possible and ask him for help. "The conditions here are a bit shabby. Do you want to make do with it for a while?" Zhou Xiong said. "It's fine. It's quite good." The room was actually quite cozy. Although it was not as luxurious as some hotel suites, it made people feel at home. "Then you should rest first." "Okay." When Wang Yao went to bed, it was already past 3 o'clock at night. It was only 2 hours before dawn. Mr. Sang was also sent to a nearby place to rest. They went to bed, but the Zhou family did not. On the way back, I asked Mr. Sang. "My father's life is temporarily delayed," Zhou said. "But what happens next depends on Dr. Wang." On the way back from Lianshan County, he did not say much. He was a quiet person who was not good with words. Deep in his heart, he still had some doubts about Wang Yao. There was no other reason other than that Wang Yao was too young. At this age, even if he started learning medical skills when he was a child, how high could he have achieved in his 20s? He did not expect that Wang Yao's performance tonight would be so shocking. Not to mention bringing the dead back to life. What Wang Yao did was equivalent to snatching people from Wuchang Gui. This was something that even the famous miracle Dr. Sang could not do. "Go back and rest. It's been a tiring few days," Zhou Xiong's father finally said. "I'd better wait a little longer," Zhou said. "My sister will be here in a while. I'll go rest when she's here." "Okay, then we'll go to sleep first. Call us if you need anything." The two brothers' houses were very close to each other, less than 100 meters away. They could hear each other even if they shouted. Early in the morning, the sun rose from the east, illuminating the earth. The full picture of the village was revealed. There were modern buildings nearby. Most of them were bungalows with courtyards. There were also some two-story villas, but there were very few of them. Looking into the distance, in the northwest corner of the village, there was a building that looked like it had been there for a long time. Before 7 o'clock, Wang Yao got up. He washed his face and went to the patient's room. Although he had been driving for 5 to 6 hours and had only slept for 3 hours, he didn't feel tired at all. His physical fitness was several times better than ordinary people, so this bit of fatigue was nothing to him. When he entered the room, he did not see Zhou Xiong and his son. He did not see Zhou Ying, but he did see a lady in her 20s. She stood by the bed and looked at the old man on the bed. He could not see her face, but she was tall and graceful. Hearing someone come in, the girl turned around. Wang Yao's eyes lit up. The girl was very beautiful. Her facial features were not outstanding individually, but together they were very harmonious. The more you looked at her, the more beautiful she was. She had a unique, heroic spirit. "Hello, may I ask?" The woman was surprised to see Wang Yao. When did such a stranger come into her house and directly come in? "Hello, my name is Wang Yao." Wang Yao. The woman looked very puzzled. Her brother had not told her what had happened last night. She only knew that her father was much better and thought that it was because of Mr. Sang's excellent medical skills. She did not know that her two brothers had traveled thousands of miles to invite a doctor with excellent medical skills to save her father's life last night. Zhou Ying deliberately kept it a secret and did not tell his sister. Fortunately, at this time, Zhou Ying heard the sound of people coming in from outside, so he introduced Wang Yao. However, he did not say that Wang Yao was a doctor. "Hello, My name is Zhou Qingyu. It turns out that Zhou Ying has such a beautiful sister, Wang Yao thought. Zhou Ying knew the purpose of Wang Yao's visit, so he found an excuse to send his sister away. I'm going to see the old man. Wang Yao pointed to the patient lying on the bed. Please. Zhou Ying hurriedly moved aside. Wang Yao sat down and began to check his pulse. Judging from the pulse, the patient's condition was better than when he had just taken the prolongation pill last night. It should be that the prolongation pill continued to work. It's better than last night. The situation is stable. Wang Yao stood up. That's good. Thank you. Zhou Ying sighed softly. While the two of them were talking, Mr. Sang also came in. Young friend, you are up early. Hello, Mr. Sang. Zhou Xiong hurriedly greeted him. Hello, Mr. Sang said with a smile. Have you diagnosed him? Yes, it's better than last night, Wang Yao said. That's good. Can you take a look again? Okay. Sang Guzi did not pretend to be pretentious. He directly sat down and checked the old man's pulse. In addition, he looked at the old man's eyes and tongue. This medicine is really amazing, Mr. Sang exclaimed after a round of examination. Several kinds of precious wild herbs, plus rare licorice roots. If such a combination was not amazing, wouldn't he be letting the system down? After confirming that the old man was fine for the time being, the Zhou family invited Wang Yao for breakfast. After breakfast, Wang Yao wanted to go out and have a look. Zhou Xiong accompanied him. The village was between two mountains. The terrain was lower in the east and higher in the west. As they walked northwest, Wang Yao saw an ancient building. It looked like a family ancestral hall. It was quite old. That's the ancestral hall of the Zhou family village. At this time, Wang Yao found out that the village was called Zhou Village. 9 out of 10 families in the village had the surname Zhou. The village had a history of hundreds of years, dating back to the Qing dynasty. When the two of them passed by the village, they found a large open space covered by trees. There seemed to be people practicing martial arts in the open space. The Zhou family village is very popular with martial artists. In the late Qing dynasty and the Republic of China, there were a few famous martial artists who went abroad, Zhou Xiong explained as they walked. Did you disclose the cause of the old man's illness? Wang Yao said. He wanted to ask this question last night. How could a 70-year-old man have such a strange illness? It was obviously caused by external factors. Uncle was plotted against by a villain during a martial arts competition. A martial arts competition? Plotted against? Wang Yao was stunned. What era was it now? How could such a thing happen? Does it sound unbelievable? He guessed that Wang Yao would have such a reaction. Yes, even in modern times, there are martial arts circles in Jianghu. Wang Yao thought that words like martial arts circles in Jianghu only existed in movies and novels. He did not expect them to exist in real life. After a moment of silence, Wang Yao suddenly said, Isn't it wonderful? Wonderful? What? Martial arts circles in Jianghu. Ha! Zhou Xiong laughed. It has nothing to do with wonderful things. There are a lot of bloody battles. Can you tell me more about it? Wang Yao said. Of course. Zhou Xiong said as they walked. A modern martial arts circle in Jianghu that were completely different from Wang Yao's imagination appeared in his mind. The modern martial arts circle in Jianghu were completely different from Wang Yao's imagination. It was another world under the increasingly sound rule of law. There were swords and sabers, gratitude and hatred, and masters of martial arts hiding in the downtown area. There were also unorthodox methods, hidden weapons, and poison. Ordinary people could not come into contact with these things. In fact, where Jianghu existed, there were grievances, fighting, and death. It was not uncommon for people to be plotted against like old Master Zhou. It was just that it was covered up by special means. Does the country allow you to break the law with martial arts? Yes, but there is a special organization to supervise. Zhou Xiong said, practicing martial arts is not just about strengthening the body. Without fighting and competition, how can martial arts learn from the strong points to make up for the weak points? How can you improve? When he said these words, Zhou Xiong seemed to change into a different person. His body exuded a unique momentum. How good can a martial arts master be? How good? Do you mean the attainment of martial arts? Zhou Xiong said. He could feel that the young man in front of him seemed to have a strong interest in martial arts. Yes, breaking stone, crossing water, and turning iron into mud. It's possible for an expert to break open a steel and crack a stone. However, I have never seen someone who can climb a duckweed, cross a river, or turn iron into mud. Of course, there are many experts and my knowledge is limited. Perhaps they really exist, Zhou Xiong said. While talking, they came to the ancestral hall in the village. It was the oldest building in the whole village. It was also the symbol of the heritage of the village and the testimony of hundreds of years of history. The ancestral hall was a typical style of the Ming and Qing dynasties. The shape was simple, but the details were quite complicated. The carved beams and painted rafters were extraordinary. It is very grand, Wang Yao said with a sigh. It was quite surprising that such a grand ancestral hall could be found in a small mountain village. Thank you. Zhou Xiong also felt honored to be praised by his village. When they returned home after walking around the village, they saw a magical scene. Old Master Zhou, who was lying in bed, woke up and regained consciousness. This made the people in the house look at Wang Yao with more strange eyes. There was a mixture of surprise, admiration, and some unknown meaning. My young friend is amazing, Old Master Sang praised with a smile. You flatter me. The prolongation pill was indeed powerful, Wang Yao thought. Old Master Zhou had woken up, but the treatment still had to continue. Wang Yao did not take charge of this matter. Instead, he discussed the methods and countermeasures with Old Master Sang. In the end, the two of them decided to detoxify Old Master Zhou first, then repair the damaged meridians and internal organs. As for the fractures, they could wait. Chapter 173. I'll make an antidote, Wang Yao said. Oh, I'm so lucky to see my young friend's magic again, Mr. Sang said happily. Wang Yao happened to have a few antidote herbs in his storage space. There was a single room, a bowl of ordinary hot water, a few green leaves as green as jade. They dissolved like water. It was a very simple medicine. Wang Yao carried the bowl of clear water to the bed. Drink it. Mr. Sang looked at the bowl of clear water with anticipation in his eyes. After drinking the medicine, the patient's body began to tremble slightly. What's going on? Don't worry. Vomit. The patient lying on the bed vomited. Because he couldn't get up and was unprepared, the stinky vomit splattered everywhere. What's this? Part of the poison in his body has been expelled, Mr. Sang said. He was now more and more curious about Wang Yao's identity. Which lineage did he belong to? How could he be able to make such an amazing medicine? Could it be the lineage of the long-lost king pharmacist? The patient's body gradually calmed down. Let me take a look. Mr. Sang checked the patient's pulse and then took off the patient's clothes. There were many bruises on the unconscious Mr. Zhou's body. Upon closer inspection, they seemed to be fist and palm prints. Looking at this scene, Wang Yao had a better understanding of the Wulin and Jianghu that Zhou Xiong had just described. Mr. Sang then took out a cloth bag from the medicine box he carried. After opening it, there was a row of silver needles. Acupuncture? Wang Yao's eyes lit up when he saw this. The path of medicine was broad and profound. In fact, it could be roughly divided into diagnosis and treatment. The so-called diagnosis was to diagnose, understand the illness, and determine the cause of the disease. There were many methods, including looking, listening, and asking. The so-called treatment was to treat illnesses, relieve pain, and restore one's health. There were many methods, such as massage, acupuncture, medicine, and so on. However, Wang Yao only knew the method of medicine, which was somewhat lacking. Mr. Sang was very accurate in identifying the acupoints, but he was very slow in inserting the needles. It was not like what was described in movies or novels, where the needles were inserted in an instant. Mr. Sang mainly focused on the chest and abdomen, probably to stimulate the internal organs where most of the toxins had accumulated. After inserting the needle, Mr. Sang rotated the silver needle from time to time. Wang Yao watched the whole process attentively. If he wanted to become a real pharmacist, Acupuncture was a skill he had to master. He had already memorized the distribution of acupoints and veins in the human body. These aspects were all included in the knowledge that the system had instilled in him. However, he did not have the method of acupuncture and the method of identifying acupoints. He had read a few medical books, but the explanations were not very detailed. As the saying goes, what you learn on paper is ultimately shallow, but when you learn of this matter, you must do it personally. Knowledge was knowledge, and practice was practice. The two complemented each other and were indispensable. After inserting the needles, Mr. Sang waited for a while. Then, he checked the pulse again and gradually began to withdraw the needles. The order of inserting the needles and withdrawing the needles was different. Acupuncture was a medical skill, but it was also a profound knowledge. This set of medical skills seemed to be quite mentally exhausting. After withdrawing the needles, Mr. Sang went to the side room to rest. "I'm old and weak. My young friend, I'll go take a rest first." "Okay." Wang Yao got up and walked him to the door. He then returned to the side of the bed and reached out to check the pulse. Sure enough, the effect was much better than just taking the medicine made from the antidote grass. This acupuncture had its own mysterious aspects. Thousands of miles away in Lianshan County, Wang Mingbao brought the medicine that Wang Yao had brewed to his uncle's house in the morning. "Uncle, this is the medicine made by Wang Yao. It's applied externally and taken orally. Try it and see how it works," Wang Mingbao said. "Okay, I'll try it." In the past few days, Wang Mingbao's uncle had been suffering from this disease. The malignant sores on his back were like burning fire and emitted a foul smell. It made him feel uncomfortable all over. He couldn't sleep at night. All kinds of medicine he took didn't work. He also had diarrhea all day and felt nauseous no matter what he ate. "I hope it works." This was the prayer in the hearts of the couple. Wang Mingbao's aunt carefully applied the medicine on her husband's back. Immediately, Wang Mingbao's uncle felt a cooling sensation on his back. It was very comfortable, and the burning sensation from before was immediately suppressed. This was something he had never experienced before. It worked. He immediately realized that the medicine worked. "Hurry up and give me some." The medicine was slightly bitter and cool when it entered his mouth. A clear stream flowed into his stomach and then quickly spread. His stomach was also cool. The inside and outside of his body were cool, which complemented each other. "How do you feel, Uncle?" "I feel much better," Wang Mingbao's uncle said. "Yao is really good." "Of course," Wang Mingbao said proudly. He also felt proud that his brother was capable. "Thank Yao for me. By the way, how much is this medicine?" "You don't have to worry about that. I'll settle it with him. Don't forget to use the medicine. I'm leaving." "Hey, don't be in such a hurry to leave. Why don't you go after dinner?" "No, I still have something to do in the shop." Wang Mingbao hurriedly left. "This child," his aunt said. "Forget it. Let him be. I don't know why that guy went to Sangzhou. He even went there at night." Wang Mingbao thought as he drove. In Zhou village, Sangzhou, Zhou Wui, who had woken up, could already speak and eat liquid food. In less than a day, there had been such a big change. This made people who knew the truth admire Wang Yao even more. In addition to treatment, Zhou Xiong brought his son to Wang Yao for a diagnosis. "Hello, uncle." Zhou Wukong was also very happy to see Wang Yao again. "Hello, Kong. Long time no see." The diagnosis was acceptable. His physical condition was better than when he left Lianshan County, but it was limited, especially his arm. The child had further deteriorated. "Have you asked Dr. Sang to see Kang's illness?" Wang Yao asked. After this short contact, he could already see that the very kind Dr. Sang was a veritable master of medicine. Although Kang's illness was strange, he should be able to treat it if he saw the place where the illness occurred. "I asked him to see it, but it was too late. If he didn't treat it with acupuncture, I'm afraid that Kang's arm would have been broken and his body would be worse," Zhou Xiong said. "It's too late. Hasn't Dr. Sang been living here?" "No. Although he is very famous in Sangzhou and is known as a miracle doctor, he doesn't stay here for long. He only comes here at a fixed time every year. At other times, he is elusive. In the last 2 years, it has been better. A few years ago, He often didn't come back for a year, Zhou Xiong said. This time, Uncle was able to stay alive before you came because he happened to be in Sangzhou and has some friendship with the Zhou family. That's why we were able to invite him over. I think this old man is very kind. Yes, not only is his medical skills brilliant, but his medical ethics are also very high. In the past, he used to treat people for free. Now that he is old, although he spends less time treating people, his fees are very low. Some people still don't charge him. Moreover, he has requirements for several of his disciples. Many of them are indebted to him, Zhou Xiong said. I admire him. Hearing this, Wang Yao praised from the bottom of his heart. This kind of moral character was really rare in today's materialistic society. In another room, Zhou Ying was talking to old Mr. Sang. A while ago, Xiao Xiong and his son went to see Dr. Wang? Yes. So, the reason why Kang's illness improved is because of him? Dr. Sang asked. Yes. Zhou Xiong answered simply and didn't say anything else. You are still so quiet. It's okay, Zhou Ying said. Dr. Wang's medical skills are indeed extraordinary. He has such skills at such a young age. He is much better than my stupid disciples, Sang Guzi said with a smile. You are too humble. My brothers are now famous in Sangzhou. Brother Liu is even better, Zhou Ying said. Him? The provincial capital might not be suitable, Dr. Sang said. There's one more thing I need to trouble you with. What is it? It's about Dr. Wang. I hope you can keep it a secret, Zhou Ying said. Haha, don't worry. I know what to do, Dr. Sang said. After taking the antidote brewed by Wang Yao and the acupuncture effect of Dr. Sang, Zhou Wui's body seemed to be better. However, he was still not out of danger. The poison in his body had not been completely removed. Moreover, his chaotic meridians were a big problem. If not treated as soon as possible, even if he survived, he would become a disabled person or a fool. Forgive me for asking, but does this uncle of yours know the legendary internal energy? Wang Yao asked Zhou Xiong curiously. When he took Zhou Wui's pulse, he found that there was a faint aura in his body. This was the first time he had encountered such a situation after taking the pulse of so many people. Yes, the so-called internal strength is not just the inner breath. Zhou Xiong said, it's all thanks to this stream of Neishi that he was able to hold on until Elder Sang and you arrived. Your uncle is also a kung fu master, right? Yes, my uncle has been practicing kung fu for nearly 60 years. He is a master of both internal and external kung fu. If not for the sneak attack this time, he would not have ended up like this, Zhou Xiong said. Aren't they open and above board when they compete? Don't they set up an arena? Haha, not really. Zhou Xiong said, the place where eldest uncle and that person fought was on top of a mountain peak. Only a few people watched. Then how did he get attacked? That person used a hidden weapon, a poisonous one. Not only my uncle, but several people who watched the fight were also injured. It was just that they were not as serious as my uncle. When we heard the noise and rushed over, it was already too late, Zhou Xiong said. Chapter 174. Wulin is indeed a dangerous place, Wang Yao said with a smile. It's dangerous, but ordinary people can't come in contact with it, Zhou Xiong said with a smile. In the afternoon, Wang Yao and Sang Guzi had another consultation. Zhou Wui's condition was basically stable. According to the current situation, there wouldn't be any major problems in the short term. However, they had to solve the problem of the disordered and broken meridians in his body as soon as possible. This was a problem that neither Wang Yao nor Sang Guzi could solve. I can't solve this problem for the time being. Wang Yao found Zhou Xiong and his father. Since the problem couldn't be solved for the time being, there was no point in staying there. I'd better go back to Lianshan County first. Okay, I'll arrange for someone to take you back. Zhou Xiong's father said without hesitation. I've already arranged dinner. Why don't you leave after dinner? Okay. Wang Yao couldn't refuse such kindness, so he didn't refuse. As soon as Wang Yao left the living room, Zhou Xiong said to Zhou Xiong's father, Second uncle, how can you let him go? I understand how you feel. We invited him here. He's a guest from afar, and he's done his best to help. Now that he wants to go back, we can't stop him. You heard just now. He can't continue the treatment here, and Sanguzi won't leave for the time being. I'm sorry, second uncle, Zhou said after calming down a little. It's okay. You stay here with your father. I'll take care of things tonight. Okay. This meal was not held in a hotel, but at home. It was considered a family feast. In some places, this might not be considered proper and might even be interpreted as stingy. However, in some places, this was a treatment that ordinary people could not enjoy. This was treating the guests as one of their own. The dinner was very rich. Considering that it was Wang Yao's first time in Sangzhou, they specially prepared some local dishes. The guests and the host enjoyed the meal. After dinner, Wang Yao got in the car and prepared to leave. Sanguzi was also preparing to go back to rest. They happened to be going the same way, so they got in the same car. The car didn't go far before it shook with a bang. Then the car seemed to be moving to one side. What happened? It should be a broken bag. I'll go take a look first. The driver slowed down and pulled over. As soon as he got out of the car, he saw a figure flash by. The driver fell to the ground with a thud. He didn't even have time to scream. Not good, Zhou Xiong thought. Don't get off the car. He shouted as soon as he got out of the car. His voice was exceptionally loud in the middle of the night. He was asking for help. This was Zhou family village. The car had not left the village yet, and there were many residents nearby. Ding! Dang! A few crisp sounds were heard. Zhou Xiong was already kneeling on the ground. 2 bloody grooves had appeared on his body, and blood was flowing out. With a bang, the glass shattered. Mr. Sang, you shouldn't have intervened in this matter. Seeing no one, a hoarse voice came from outside. Young friend, find an opportunity to leave later, Mr. Sang said as he pulled out a few silver needles from his body. What a coincidence! Wang Yao encountered the martial arts world and Jiang Hu that he wished to see. Unfortunately, it was the dark side. Wang Yao didn't answer. His nashi flowed freely in his body. Because he often drank ancient spring water and practiced natural classics, his body was already far superior to ordinary people. His 5 senses were also the same. With the help of his nashi, his perception was even more amazing and extraordinary. He heard the wind at night, the sound of leaves falling not far away, and the breathing of 2 people outside the car, one on the left and the other on the right. Wang Yao reached out his hand and opened the car door with a crash. A figure flashed. It was a knife, a very fast knife. But Wang Yao saw it. Then he threw a punch. His fist was like a cannon. With a loud bang and a cracking sound, the figure was sent flying. It was a matter of life and death. He had to do his best. On the other side, Mr. Sang also made his move. With a wave of his hand, the old man threw out several silver needles. The silver needles, which were light as a feather, made whooshing sounds as they were thrown. It turned out that this old man was not only skilled in medicine, but also practiced internal martial arts. Let's go. Wang Yao got out of the car first. Whoosh! A figure rushed over and dragged Mr. Sang behind him. His body sank and then bounced out like an arrow. 2 sighs, one in front of him and the other behind him. Wang Yao and the figure brushed past each other. He felt a piercing coldness in the air, so he pushed his hand out. Bang! The figure flew out and fell to the ground with a muffled groan. Internal martial arts? Mr. Sang, who was not far away, opened his eyes wide in surprise. He didn't expect this young man with amazing medical skills to be a master of internal martial arts. After the figure fell to the ground, he waved his hand and made a sound. Be careful, Mr. Sang hurriedly shouted. Wang Yao hurriedly dodged. Something was nailed to the car. When he looked back, the figure had run far away. The person who was injured by Wang Yao wanted to leave, but was hit by a stone thrown by Wang Yao. Old master, are you okay? I'm fine. I didn't expect you to be a master of Kung Fu. I've only learned Kung Fu for a few days. I'm not a master. I hope you can keep it a secret from me. Wang Yao didn't expect his move to be so powerful. After practicing Kung Fu for a few months, this was the first time he had a real combat, and it was a life-and-death battle. Don't worry. You saved my life just now. The people of the Zhou family arrived quickly. They were also surprised when they saw the person on the ground. Are you all right, Mr. Sang? Dr. Wang? Zhou Xiong's father asked. He didn't expect these people to be so arrogant and dare to fight in front of his house. I'm fine. The people of the Zhou family quickly came to take the man away. Zhou Xiong was injured. There were 2 knife wounds, but they didn't hurt his bones. The driver was knocked unconscious. There was a fatal knife wound on his body. He probably wouldn't survive. Damn it. The people of the Zhou family were very angry. They were not the only ones who were angry. Some people who heard the news were also angry. Old Master Sang had been practicing kung fu for many years. He had done a lot of good deeds and made a lot of good karma. Many people in the Jianghu, both legal and illegal, had to give him face. Now, someone dared to fight in Sangzhou. Of course, this had nothing to do with Wang Yao. He was sent away by the people of the Zhou family. They sent him away in the middle of the night. They were afraid that there would be another accident. There was also a master accompanying him to protect his safety. He didn't go back to Lianshan directly. Instead, he went to the nearby Wei City and took a bus back to Lianshan County. When he got home, he called Zhou Xiong to let him know that he was safe. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Zhou Xiong kept apologizing over the phone. It's okay. It had already happened. There was no point in complaining. Wang Yao never thought that he would encounter such a thing. This was something that only happened in novels and movies. In short, this trip to Sangzhou had changed a lot of his views. There were too many things in this world that he didn't know. Those things in the rumors might really exist and happen. Although this trip of 1,000 miles had some risks, the harvest was quite rich. It seems that I should go out more often if I have the chance. Because of the delay, it was already noon when he got home. As soon as she saw her son, Zhang Xiuying hurried to ask, "You're back. Has the patient been cured?" "Not yet. His life is saved for the time being," Wang Yao said. "That's good. Wash your face and have lunch later." Okay. During lunch, Wang Yao's father also asked about the matter. After hearing that the patient's life was not in danger for the time being, he nodded. After lunch, Wang Yao talked with his parents for a while. Then, he went up to Nanshan Hill and recorded the situation he had encountered this time. The degree of disorder of the tendons and meridians was itself a difficult disease. There were many descriptions of meridians and collaterals in medical books. If the meridians and collaterals are smooth, all kinds of diseases will not occur. If the human body was compared to the earth, then the meridians and collaterals were rivers. Without the irrigation of the rivers, the earth would dry up. If the rivers were broken or changed direction, terrible things would happen. It was quite difficult to straighten out these meridians and reconnect the broken meridians and collaterals. This disease is slightly similar to Kang's. Wang Yao concentrated on the relevant treatment methods. In a small mountain village in Sangzhou, thousands of miles away. I didn't expect Dr. Wang to be a master of kung fu. Mr. Sang was chatting with Zhou Xiong's father, Zhou Wuxing. Haha, speaking of which, his kung fu is somewhat related to us, Zhou Wuxing said with a smile. Is that so? To be honest, Mr. Sang, his kung fu was taught by my son. What? Little Xiong taught him? Sang Guzi was shocked. Yes, he taught him for less than half a year. In less than half a year, he can beat people up as if they were walking. Mr. Sang, his comprehension is very strong. I can understand some things with just a little bit. The speed of his progress in kung fu can be said to be very fast. Zhou Xiong said. When he taught Wang Yao martial arts in Lianshan County, he saw it with his own eyes and deeply experienced it. I think his kung fu is at least 10 years of hard work. I didn't expect him to practice it for less than a year. There are really geniuses in this world, not to mention his superb medical skills, but also his kung fu. It was really hard to compare people to people. He seems to be very interested in kung fu. Yes, he is very interested in it, Zhou Xiong said. When he met Wang Yao in Lianshan County, he could clearly feel the young man's love for kung fu. He has helped us so much this time. He saved your uncle and Kong. We should express our gratitude. You said before that he doesn't like money. I was wondering if we should give him something special. Now that I know he is good at kung fu, I thought of a gift, Zhou Wuxing said. Chapter 175. Gift? Dad, don't tell me you want to give that thing to him. Zhou Xiong said. Why? It's just an ancient book. We've memorized everything in it. It'll only rot if we leave it there. It's better to give it to someone you like, Zhou Wuxing said. When you've recovered, you'll go there yourself. Yes, in Lianshan County. Brother, are you going to do something about this? Wang Fenglei has another woman outside. Wang Yao had just come down from the hill. Before he entered the house, he heard a shrill scream coming from inside. He pushed the door open and saw his third aunt, who rarely came to the house. She had a plump figure and dyed blonde hair. She was yelling at her father. When she saw Wang Yao come back, she immediately rushed to Wang Yao. Yao, you're the one who introduced her to this job, right? Your third uncle is fooling around with another woman in that unit. Do you know that? She opened her big mouth and spit everywhere. Wang Yao subconsciously took a step back. He only felt a big headache. It was as if there were 10,000 flies buzzing around him. He really wanted to slap her. Wang Yao controlled himself. After all, she was his elder. His third aunt had been yelling at his house for more than an hour. She didn't rest for even half a minute and didn't drink water. It was as if his third uncle's problems were caused by his family. She finally left. After she left, Wang Yao suddenly felt that the whole world was quiet. His father's face was very gloomy. Look at what your third brother has done. Zhang Xiuing walked into the house angrily. Because of the impact of this matter, the happy dinner was not very pleasant. His parents didn't look good. They were both angry. After a quick meal, Wang Yao went straight out the door. He didn't say anything from the beginning to the end because he didn't know what to say. He really admired his third uncle. She had asked someone to find a job for him. It wasn't tiring, and the salary was reasonable. She had thought that he would work hard and live a good life. But in the end, after only a few months, he had created such a mess. Not only did his family not settle down, but also her own family. If Tian Yuan had found out about this, what would he think? How would she deal with it? I shouldn't have introduced him to that job. The next day, his eccentric third aunt actually came again. Fortunately, his parents were not at home as they were busy going up the mountain. His neighbor gave his parents a call out of goodwill, but his parents didn't go down the mountain. His third aunt was still waiting outside until noon. Her perseverance was admirable, not to mention anything else. At noon, his parents went directly to his small house. They made do with a meal on the mountain and rested in the small house. You don't want to come back, right? Then I'll go up the mountain to find you. Wang Yao's third aunt actually went up the mountain. How persevering was this? How troublesome was this? She went up Nanshan Hill without hesitation. She was full of anger. She wanted to find someone to vent her anger. She wanted to ask her husband's eldest brother and his whole family if they were hiding from her and if they didn't want to care about this matter anymore. Nanshan Hill was in sight. A small house on a mountain was half hidden. Woof, woof, woof. Dogs barked outside the house. Someone went up the mountain. Wang Yao went out and was shocked. No way. They even came here. He saw his third aunt from afar. So he immediately activated the magic array. In an instant, all the roads to the herbal field were blocked. There was no way around. What's wrong, Yao? His mother asked hurriedly when she saw him, as if he was facing a formidable enemy. Nothing. Some people who shouldn't have gone up the mountain, Wang Yao said. Stay here and don't go out. People who shouldn't have gone up the mountain? Who is it? Yao. His third aunt shouted before going up the mountain. Immediately, Wang Yao's parents understood what their son meant. She even came here. Hey, what's going on? Wang Yao's third aunt intuitively felt that the trees in front of her suddenly moved. It seemed to be running and spinning. She felt dizzy. Are my eyes playing tricks on me? She shook her head hard. Wang Yao. She opened her eyes and shouted at the small house. However, she didn't manage to shout. She felt even more dizzy. I really admire her, Wang Yao's mother said. Originally, they thought that she would leave if they didn't go back at noon. After a while, when she calmed down, they would sit down and talk about it. Of course, Wang Yao's third uncle was wrong. However, they still had to go on. They were both 40 years old. They couldn't really divorce. They didn't expect that she would come to the mountain. Don't worry about her. She will go down the mountain when she is tired, Wang Yao said calmly. Woof, woof, woof. Just because he didn't care, it didn't mean that other animals didn't care. For example, the dog outside the house was standing there barking. Where did this woman come from? How dare she behave so atrociously here? Yeah, I'm your third aunt. Wang Yao's third aunt was still shouting outside. However, the more she shouted, the more dizzy she felt. She didn't even dare to look at the forest in front of her. After shouting for a while, she was really tired. Her head was very dizzy. The dog was also barking fiercely. Is there no one here? She wanted to go in and have a look. However, she found that there was no way in. She didn't give up and walked around in a circle. How does he usually get in and out? She was also very tired along the way. She sat outside for a while and then turned to go down the mountain. She was very unwilling to give up. When she went down the mountain, she looked back. It didn't matter. She only felt that the tree was shaking again. It was even more powerful than before. It was still growing rapidly. It was shaking in midair. Oh my God! She was shocked and fell to the ground. It took her a long time to get up. Her face was pale. She didn't dare to stay any longer. She went down the mountain unsteadily. Has she left? Yes. It's so annoying. Wang Yao's mother was a little unhappy. Blocking the door like this was the behavior of a relative. It was clearly the behavior of an enemy. Not only was she not afraid of losing face, but she also didn't care about the face of others. Could she still be waiting for us at the foot of the mountain? In fact, Wang Yao's mother's worry was unnecessary. His sister-in-law was dizzy and couldn't walk steadily. After reaching the foot of the mountain, she leaned against a tree and vomited. It took her a long time to recover. What's wrong with me? She was a little scared. Her sudden discomfort made her think that she had an acute illness. She didn't dare to continue to wait there. Instead, she left the mountain village on an electric bike. Of course, this matter was not over. She just had to wait for a while. Xiaoying, your sister-in-law, came this morning. She didn't seem to be very happy. When Wang Yao's parents went down the mountain, the neighbor next to them kindly reminded them. Oh, I know. Thank you, Auntie. It's okay. Wang Yao didn't go down the mountain. Instead, he sat outside the cottage with a book and enjoyed the sunset. San Xian, do you think I should make a medicine that can make people quiet and shut up? Woof, woof, woof. There's still 7 days and 10 people. Let's go to Rinha Clinic tomorrow. The next day, Wang Yao went down the mountain early and went to Lianshan County. His parents also went up the mountain early in the morning. They were afraid that Wang Yao's third aunt would come here again. Today, his third aunt did come to Wang Yao's clinic. However, this time, she went to the company where Wang Yao's third uncle worked, Jiahui Group, which was founded by Tian Yuan too. She wanted to enter the company, but the security guards didn't let her in. She made a scene outside the company. Coincidentally, she met Tian Yuan too in his car. Tian Yuan frowned when he found out the reason. He was very disgusted with this kind of thing. If it were someone else, he would have immediately fired them and kicked them out. However, this person was Wang Yao's relative, which put him in a difficult position. Tian Yuan didn't care about it anymore. He let the relevant departments deal with this matter. Obviously, this matter had a negative impact on the company. The person was persuaded to leave. To be precise, Wang Yao's third aunt left in confusion when she saw the siren of the police car. The opinions of the relevant departments were suppressed by Tian Yuan too. Hey, how come you have time to come today? Pan Mei was a little surprised to see Wang Yao in the clinic. In the past, she couldn't invite him. I don't have many things to do today. I want to see a few more patients, so I came. Sister Pan, you won't disagree, right? Of course not. I can't wait to see you here every day. Pan Mei smiled and said, I'll change the water for you. It's okay. I could do it myself. By the way, in the past few days when you weren't here, someone asked about you. Another woman came several times. She was the one who called here and quarreled with her brother. Do you remember her? Pan Mei asked. Because of her mother? Yes, it's her. She hoped that we could call and inform her when you come. She has asked several times. What do you think? Then tell her that I'm here today. Wang Yao had a deep impression of the somewhat shrewish woman. Okay, then I'll call her now. In less than 20 minutes, the mother and son arrived at the clinic. Hello, Dr. Wang. The woman in her 30s was still dressed fashionably. Her face was charming, but there was a little more worry between her eyebrows. Hmm? The old man standing next to her seemed to be in worse condition than the last time he came. His face was a little gray, his eyes were dull, and his breathing was a little rapid. "Hello, please sit down. This time, please take a look at my mother. After leaving here last time, didn't you take your mother to the hospital for a checkup?" "I went to the hospital, but the effect was not very good." "Then let me take your pulse." This examination found that the old man's condition was worse than the last time. The liver qi was stagnant, the blood was not flowing smoothly, and the internal organs were overworked. Chapter 176. It was like a car that had been driven continuously for 100,000 kilometers. It needed to be maintained, especially at her age. Her body's various functions began to deteriorate. The longer it was delayed, the worse it would become. "Didn't she take any medicine after going to the hospital?" "I prescribed some medicine, but it didn't work well after taking it," the charming woman said. "Well, I'll prescribe some medicine for her. The treatment cycle will be longer," Wang Yao said. "Okay." Wang Yao gave her a prescription. It used all the common herbs. They could get the medicine directly in the clinic. Get the medicine according to the prescription. The method of using the medicine is also on it. Let the old woman rest more. Don't make her angry. "Okay, thank you, doctor." The mother and son asked the clinic to help boil the medicine. They could come in the afternoon to collect the medicine. They could get the medicine for one course at a time. "Can I see the equipment used to boil the medicine?" Wang Yao asked Pan Mei. Of course. In a room in the clinic, Wang Yao saw a modern Chinese medicine decoction machine. It was not big, slightly bigger than a bucket. It had a stainless steel body and automatic control. With the advancement of modern technology, all kinds of medical technology were advancing. The old time-consuming and laborious methods were eliminated. Just like the decoction machine in front of him, it was convenient and fast. How many people still used firewood to boil Chinese medicine? However, some of the things made by modern equipment sometimes were not as good as those made in ancient times. For example, the modern pottery technology was more advanced, but it could not make some of the ancient porcelain. The herbs must be guaranteed. Wang Yao said. This was all he could do now. He could not force a clinic to boil Chinese medicine with firewood, right? Don't worry about this. Now, not only do we use the medicine prescribed by you, but also the medicine prescribed by other doctors. We try our best to use the best herbs, Pan Mei said. For ordinary large quantities of herbs, the difference between the price of good and bad herbs was not particularly big. The same was true for the efficacy of the herbs. However, this was a matter of attitude. Using good herbs meant integrity and responsibility for the patient. In the morning, Wang Yao saw 2 more patients. They were both old. They had headaches and poor sleep quality. It was slightly easier to treat this kind of illness. At noon, he didn't go home. Instead, he called Wang Mingbao over and the 2 of them had a meal together. "Hey, it's not Wednesday today. Why did you go to the clinic?" "I think I saw 2 more patients," Wang Yao said. "You want to make money? Earning experience. How's Wei Hai doing? Does he still look for you often?" "No, he hasn't been so annoying these days. I see that his complexion is much better, and he has also regained his confidence. He no longer looks like he lost his soul like a while ago." "That's good. A good attitude will help with the treatment of the disease," Wang Yao said. "Are you still going in the afternoon?" "Yes." After lunch, he went to Wang Mingbao's restaurant for a while. While the 2 of them were chatting, the clerk knocked on the door and came in. "Boss, someone wants to purchase a large batch of decorative materials and wants to ask if you can lower the price. Please wait for a moment." "All right. Wait for me here for a while. I'll be back in a while." "Just in time. It's about time. I should go to the clinic." The 2 of them went out together and happened to meet the customer that the clerk had mentioned earlier. It wasn't a person, but a couple in their 30s. The man was of medium height and slightly chubby. He was gentle and elegant. The woman was slightly taller than the man. She was the kind of woman who was good-looking and maintained herself well. Wang Yao paused for a moment. His gaze fell on the woman. Her lower abdomen was slightly bulging. This also meant that a new life was growing inside. The two of them were very close to each other. Hello, I'm the owner of this restaurant. Hello, I'm Peng Yin. While the two of them were talking, Wang Yao's gaze fell on Peng Yin's wife. Let's talk in my office. Okay. Wang Mingbao invited Peng Yin and his wife to his office. After a while, they came out and prepared to leave. At this moment, Wang Yao spoke. The couple stopped and turned to look at him. I'm a doctor, Wang Yao said. The couple was stunned. They clearly didn't know what he was going to say. I suggest that you go to the hospital for a checkup. Wang Yao pointed at the woman. What do you mean? Peng Yan's expression suddenly turned ugly. This lady's breathing is a little rapid. Her complexion is also a little pale. Of course, this is just a suggestion. The man was a little angry. He turned and left. His wife hurriedly followed behind him. Hey, what are you doing? After the couple left, Wang Mingbao asked, You've been staring at that woman's stomach since the moment you saw her. Also, how is her complexion bad? She's clearly very pretty. That's just the makeup covering her original complexion. Her eyes don't look very energetic. She's not healthy, Wang Yao said. It was better for a normal person, but for a pregnant woman, it was not a good thing. This was the time when the body needed nutrition the most. After leaving, the couple got into the car. You know him? Peng Yin whispered. His expression was a little gloomy. I don't know him, his wife said. You're just spouting nonsense, right? Her body trembled slightly as she spoke. The man didn't say anything else. He stepped on the accelerator and the car sped away. She really should go to the hospital. I believe you, but they probably think you're a crazy person, Wang Mingbao said with a smile. They won't stop buying from you because of this, right? Wang Yao suddenly said. He had only warned the couple out of kindness. Forget it if they don't want to buy. I'm not short of customers anyway. Let's go. Wang Yao went to the clinic again. There was not a single patient in the afternoon. In the afternoon, the sky outside darkened. Several retired old doctors who were in the outpatient clinic left one after another. Their working hours here were not so late. Basically, they came late and left early. After all, at such an old age, they were a little tired after sitting for a whole day. Moreover, they were basically grandmothers and grandfathers. They came out to earn some spare money. Regarding this, Pan did not say much. She always had an amiable smile on her face. This alone was extremely rare. After 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Wang Yao was the only one left in the clinic. When he was seeing patients, he basically came and left on time. Dr. Wang, it seems that there's nothing else here. You can go back early. No hurry. I'll read for a while more, Wang Yao said with a smile. He was holding a book titled Traditional Chinese Acupuncture in his hand. Ever since he witnessed Mr. Sang's extraordinary acupuncture skills in Sangzhou, he had started to study and research in this area. In his spare time, he would read relevant books and materials. Ding! When it was almost 5:30 p.m., a man in his 50s pushed the door open and came in. He looked a little pale and was holding his stomach. Doctor, I suddenly have a stomachache while eating. I can't go to the toilet. Can you take a look and prescribe some medicine? Stomachache. Dr. Wang, can you please take a look? Pan Mei shouted at Wang Yao. Okay. Wang Yao put down the book. Hey, Dr. Wang, right? The man saw Wang Yao and forced a smile. You are? Hey, I once brought a relative to see you. After she took the medicine you prescribed, her headache was much better. Oh, that's good. Let me take a look at you first. I see that you are in so much pain that you can't stand. Hey, hurry up and take a look. Wang Yao put his hand on the patient's wrist. His face changed immediately. Go to the hospital immediately and check your heart. Oh, why? The man in his 50s changed his expression and became extremely ugly after hearing that. Check your heart. There's a thrombosis, Wang Yao said. Thrombosis in the heart was extremely dangerous. If it was not handled properly, it could be fatal. Ms. Pan, can you call an ambulance? Wang Yao shouted. Okay. Pan Mei immediately called an ambulance. After all, it was a matter of life and death. Don't be nervous. Wang Yao asked Pan Mei for a box of Chinese medicine to protect the heart. Chapter 177. Why don't you let your family know first? Wang Yao said. Okay. The man's hand trembled as he made the call. Wang Yao suddenly realized that his words were a little harsh and scared the man. He could have been more tactful. You have to be careful in the future to avoid doing bad things with good intentions. The ambulance came quickly. His family arrived at the same time. The middle-aged man's body trembled when he got into the ambulance. "Let's go, Sister May." The visiting doctor obviously knew Pan May. This might have something to do with her brother, Pan Jun, working in the emergency department. "Be careful on the road. Don't forget that the old man's illness is in his heart. He may have thrombosis." "Oh, okay." The ambulance left quickly. Only Pan May and Wang Yao were left in the clinic. "Is his life in danger?" Pan May asked. "He won't be if it's treated in time. But we can't rule out the possibility that the thrombosis has entered his heart," Wang Yao said. "I think he's scared. I didn't think it through." Wang Yao said, "I could have been more tactful just now. He may have been frightened and his condition may have worsened." Wang Yao said regretfully, "You're being kind. I'll go back first." Before leaving, Pan May gave him a red packet as usual. "Thank you. Be careful on the road." One incident made him realize that he was not good enough. It was not only in terms of medical skills, but also in terms of social interaction. The former could be obtained through learning and the system. The latter required continuous experience and was not something that could be learned from books. The next day was Wednesday. Wang Yao went to Rinha Clinic as usual. At about 11 a.m., a middle-aged woman came in. "Sister Pan, is Dr. Wang here?" "Yes, what's the matter?" Pan May asked. "I'm here to thank you," the woman said with a smile. "Thank you? Is your father better?" "Yes, he's out of danger now. It's all thanks to your accurate diagnosis. The hospital said that if it had been 1 or 2 hours, the consequences would have been much more serious." The woman said, "That's good. He's inside. You can go and see him directly." "Thank you?" Wang Yao was stunned. "The old man with a bad heart yesterday is my father." "Oh." Wang Yao instantly understood. After expressing her gratitude, the woman took out a red envelope and placed it on the table. "It's just a small token of my appreciation. I hope Dr. Wang will accept it." "I don't want this." Wang Yao hurriedly refused. After much persuasion, the woman finally took the money back. There were many people who came to the clinic to express their gratitude, but this was probably the first time they had received a red packet. "It's good that you're fine. Then I won't disturb you. Hey, take care." The woman thanked him again and again before leaving. After receiving the gratitude, Wang Yao was very happy. Although he still looked calm on the surface, everyone liked to be praised. Even saints were no exception. In the morning, Wang Yao called Wang Mingbao out for lunch again. This time, there was one more person, Wei Hai. He was here to freeload and had brought along 2 boxes of tea leaves. It was a famous tea and was expensive. It was a gift for Wang Yao. "Hey, you're so mean. Why don't you give me some of these good things?" Another day, Wei Hai said with a smile. "Let me take a look at you first," Wang Yao said. "Okay." Wang Yao reached out to check his pulse. "Well, it's better than last time. Are you still vomiting blood?" "No, I'm just having diarrhea," Wei Hai said. From the initial fear to now gradually getting used to it, he was able to accept this somewhat special way of detoxification. Since this illness has improved, I can sleep better. To be honest, I used to have a restless sleep. I would wake up in the middle of the night and have nightmares. Now I understand that as long as I have enough money, it's enough. Health is something that money can't buy. It's good that you can get over it." After a simple meal, they went to Wei Hai's restaurant and sat for a while. It could be considered as a break. Wang Yao looked up at the street house he had bought. He got up and walked around. The shop was not small. It had 2 floors and was at least 200 square meters. It was quite expensive in this area. They were now on the 2nd floor. Wang Yao felt a little cold inside. The lighting in this house was not very good. There were originally several large windows, but half of them were sealed. "You've been living here all this time?" "Yes, what's wrong?" Wei Hai hurriedly asked. "Why do you feel that something is wrong?" "Well, I really don't feel it." Wei Hai carefully pondered for a while. In fact, it was mainly because his body was already very weak. He would not be so sensitive if there were any abnormalities. Wang Yao was different. His 5 senses were far better than ordinary people. After staying in the spirit-gathering battle array, he was more sensitive to the changes in the surrounding air. Therefore, he felt that something was wrong as soon as he came in. What's wrong? I don't think the lighting here is good enough. Why are these windows sealed? Wang Yao pointed to the windows. The weather was very clear outside, and the sun was very bright. However, the light that shone in was limited. I'm really not sure about this. It was like this when I took over. I didn't pay much attention to it. After hearing what you said, it's a little strange. Hey, don't tell me you also know feng shui? Wei Hai was surprised. I really don't know. When I came in, I felt a little cold. It's not bad for people to get more sunlight, especially in spring. It's not so bad. Well, I'll get someone to tear it down in the afternoon. You see if there's anything wrong. I'll change it too. Wei Hai now had blind trust in Wang Yao. If Wang Yao said the house was not good and had to be torn down and rebuilt, he would immediately find someone to tear it down and rebuild it. I don't see anything wrong with other places for the time being. After staying with Wei Hai for a while, Wang Yao left for the outpatient clinic. After watching Wang Yao leave, Wei Hai gently pulled Wang Mingbao's sleeve and said, "Hey, brother, does he really know feng shui?" "Stop pulling," Wang Mingbao said with a smile. "Didn't you say he used to study biology? Now he knows how to treat patients and has become a miracle doctor. What's so strange about knowing feng shui? Is it more difficult to know feng shui than to treat patients?" Wei Hai said, "Hey, I suddenly feel that what you said seems to be very reasonable." Wang Mingbao was stunned. Could it be that he really knows feng shui? Find time to ask him. In the afternoon, there were not many people in the outpatient clinic. A few of them had common colds and headaches. They just came to take some medicine and left. There were 3 old doctors in the clinic. They were drinking tea and chatting. Wang Yao was several generations older than them, so they did not have much in common. Naturally, it was not good for him to join them. He just read the acupuncture book alone, without knowing when the sky outside suddenly became a little gloomy. "I haven't been sleeping very well recently. What's the matter? I'm old. My body is weak," the old doctor said. "Hey, let Dr. Wang over there take a look. He's very good at treating patients." One of the doctors glanced at Wang Yao. "Him? Forget it," the old doctor said. The old doctor's tone was half disdainful and half jealous. "You're still the same. You're too shameless," the old doctor said. Although their voices were very low, Wang Yao could still hear them clearly. Who was he? He had an extraordinary physique. With the circulation of his nashi, he could hear the sound of mosquitoes more than 30 feet away. Hey, these old doctors. After listening to them, he shook his head with a smile. He knew that these old doctors had opinions about him. He could see this from their eyes when he first came to the clinic. After this period of contact, especially after he had continuously cured patients, these old doctors' attitudes toward him had changed. However, the root of their attitudes had not changed. Sometimes, as they were getting older, they could not help but be more stubborn. Bang! Something hit the window. It was raining outside. "Hey, it's raining. I have to go and borrow my granddaughter. I have to pick up my grandson, too." After a while, all the old people had left, and the clinic was empty again. "Well, I'm left alone again. There won't be any sudden changes this afternoon, will there?" At around 5 p.m., Wang Yao put down the book and opened the system panel. There's still 3 days left. There are only 6 people left. 3 days, 6 people. Just as he was thinking about whether to come back tomorrow, the number suddenly changed. It increased by 3 more people. This should be the effect of the medicine he prescribed. Some patients felt it. This thing might be done tonight. Wang Yao drove home in the rain. When he passed by an intersection, he suddenly saw a woman rushing out from the side of the road. Wang Yao hurriedly kicked the car, and the car almost hit the woman. "What's going on?" Wang Yao pressed down the window and found that the woman had hurriedly run away. She seemed to be in a panic and did not care about the road at all. I seem to have seen this person's back before. Beep, beep, beep. The car behind him that was blocked kept honking. When Wang Yao was about to start, the green light turned red. He had to wait. After 30 seconds, the green light turned green. The car slowly started. The car behind Wang Yao could not wait. It stepped on the accelerator and overtook him at the intersection. When it overtook him, it rolled down the window. A young man was sitting in the car. He gave Wang Yao the middle finger. "Do you know how to drive? You're like a turtle." When he turned around, he found that an electric car had appeared in front of him and was crossing the road. He was so scared that he hurriedly turned the steering wheel. The car suddenly jumped onto the curb and crashed into a utility pole. The front of the car immediately caved in, and the airbag bounced off in an instant. The sudden situation startled the people nearby, and the young man who was driving the car was also thrown into confusion. This also proved that if you don't ask for it, you won't die. Chapter 178. After crossing the road, Wang Yao pulled over and called the police. Then, he got out of the car and came to the side of the car. The car window had not been rolled up. Wang Yao could see that the driver was still lying on the open airbag. His eyes were open. It seemed that he was not fully awake yet. "What is this?" Wang Yao stretched out a finger and waved it in front of the young man's eyes. How is it? Do you need me to call an ambulance for you?" "Yes. Don't drive so fast in the future." This kind of reckless behavior hurt others as well as himself. Wang Yao picked up the phone and called an ambulance. After confirming that the injured young man's life was not in danger, he drove home. Mission: obtain the recognition of 100 patients or their families within 100 days. Completed. While the car was still on the road, Wang Yao suddenly heard the good news that made him happy. "This mission is finally completed. This also means that I will learn a new medical skill. I wonder what it will be. Acupuncture?" Thinking of this, Wang Yao was a little excited. However, he still drove slowly. It was only about 60 kilometers. Soon, he arrived home. He stopped the car and entered the house. Then, he pulled up the mission panel. Wang Yao was very surprised. This medical skill was just for fun. He did not expect it to be tween a massage. "Is this also a medical skill? Do you want to learn it?" Of course, I choose yes. Although he had doubts in his heart, Wang Yao chose to learn without hesitation based on his trust in the system. Suddenly, the feeling of enlightenment that he had enjoyed several times came again. This time, the situation was slightly different from the previous times. It was not just the pure infusion of knowledge. He seemed to have mastered some kind of ability at this moment. It was as if he had practiced for more than 10 years. However, the process was still very uncomfortable. The infusion of knowledge also let him know that this independent medical skill was extraordinary. When it came to this term, most people would think of healthcare first. But in fact, massage was an important part of traditional Chinese medicine. Some scholars even praised it as a kind of natural treatment. As long as the method was right, there were basically no side effects. The Yellow Emperor's Canon of Internal Medicine mentioned, if the meridians and collaterals are blocked, the disease will be caused by malnutrition. Massage is the cure. Among them, the emphasis was placed on the meridians and viscera of the human body. Through external means such as pressing, rubbing, and pushing, they could achieve the goal of external treatment of internal diseases and healthcare. Strictly speaking, bone setting was also included. Why don't you try it on your parents first? Tween massage could not only cure diseases, but also regulate the body, promote blood flow, and play the role of healthcare and disease prevention. After dinner, Wang Yao made this request to his mother. "What? Massage?" Zhang Xiaoying asked. "That's right. You've been busy all day. Let me give you a massage to relieve your fatigue." "It's a back massage, right?" In simple terms, that's about it," Wang Yao said. "Good. It's rare for my son to be so filial." There are many ways to massage, such as pressing, patting, rubbing, and pushing. Different positions, different methods, and different strength were used. To really master this medical skill, one had to understand the direction of the meridians and acupoints of the human body. Then, with stimulation, the effect could be achieved. Wang Yao massaged his mother's shoulders. After a busy day on the mountain, the arms, shoulders, and waist were all places that were easy to be tired. He did not use much strength. It could be considered gentle, but his technique was quite sophisticated. He rubbed, pressed, and pushed as if he had practiced for many years. He slowly pushed and pressed along the meridians, back and forth repeatedly. He slightly increased the strength at the important acupoints. There was knowledge in this, not fooling around. With the massage, Zhang Xiaoying could clearly feel the changes in her body. The parts of her body that were massaged were hot and connected. It was very comfortable. The originally uncomfortable and sore feeling also disappeared. How do you feel, Mom? Well, comfortable. Zhang Xiaoying closed her eyes. She looked like she was enjoying it very much. Look at how beautiful you are, Wang Fenghua said with a smile. Of course, my son is massaging me. Of course, I'm beautiful. Zhang Xiaoying said. The massage took about half an hour. It was mainly massaged on the shoulders, back, arms, and other parts of the body that were active. After that, he also gave his father a massage. How do you feel, old man? Zhang Xiaoying asked with a smile while soaking her feet. Well, it's comfortable. Yao, who did you learn this from? God taught me, Wang Yao said with a smile. You're not serious. After giving his parents a massage, Wang Yao went out and went back to Nanshan Hill. His parents had been busy the whole day and felt a little tired. They turned off the lights and went to bed early. Today was not the same as usual. They fell asleep after lying down for a while. Their sleep was particularly good. I've learned the method of massage this time. I wonder when I can learn acupuncture. It was very quiet on Nanshan Hill. After the spirit-gathering battle array was completed, it seemed to be quieter at night. If there was nothing special, Wang Yao was not willing to go down the hill because he could clearly feel that the body was more comfortable on the hill and in the battle array. What was spiritual qi? It was the essence of heaven and earth and the essence of nature. It was invisible, but actually existed. If the human body could absorb more of it, it would naturally be healthy and live a long life. He had even thought of expanding the cottage and building a 4-room house. He could then bring his parents up to live there. However, that would destroy the spirit-gathering battle array. There were still many things to pay attention to when building a house on the hill. He could only delay it for now. Wang Fenglei, you're finally willing to come back. Tell me, what are you going to do? Do you still want to live like this? In Lianshan County, Wang Yao's third uncle and his wife were arguing again. Hey, why are the couple upstairs starting again? I heard the man has a mistress. What? It's him? That bald man. People would believe him if he said he was 50. How could he have a mistress? Hey, don't look down on people. Let me tell you, some young girls nowadays like uncles. Do you also have such thoughts? Bang, bang. Why did you fall down again? I can't live like this anymore. I want to divorce you. Fine, I'll divorce you tomorrow. Wang Fenglei slammed the door and left. The next day, the couple who had been talking about divorce went to the Civil Affairs Bureau to complete the divorce procedures. After that, Wang Fenglei called Wang Yao's father. What? Divorce? After hearing the news, Wang Fenghua was stunned for a while. Are they really divorced? Wang Yao heard the shocking news from his mother when he went down the hill at noon. I think it's true. Oh, my third uncle is really troublesome. He's in his 40s this year, right? 42, Zhang Xiaoying said. I really admire him. Don't learn from him, Zhang Xiaoying said. What does this have to do with? Why should I learn from him? Wang Yao asked. Does he really have an affair with the people in his company? How would I know? Didn't you introduce him to a job? Why don't you ask? Who would I ask? Don't worry about it. Who he is with. Can we not care about this matter? Wang Yao said. He couldn't ask about this kind of thing. You have to ask your father about this. During the meal, Wang Fenghua didn't speak. Obviously, he was worried about his third brother. Thousands of miles away in Sangzhou. Keep an eye on it. Don't let it fall into the hands of others. Don't worry, Dad. Although there were still knife wounds on his body, he was basically fine after taking the secret medicine made by Mr. Sang. Zhou Xiong left Sangzhou with his son and went straight to Lianshan County. They didn't go alone. They were accompanied by a car. Dad, how long will we stay at Uncle Wang Yao's place this time? Why? Do you like to stay there? Yes. Then stay a little longer. I hope he can cure your illness. Zhou Xiong rubbed his son's hair. After leaving Sangzhou, Zhou Xiong called Wang Yao and said that he was going to take his son to continue the treatment. Chapter 179. The night was quiet and heavy. Wang Yao was outside the cottage, looking up at the sky. He was looking at the sky and thinking. In his mind, a lot of knowledge kept rolling. This was the knowledge of Tuina massage that he had just learned. It was said that Tuina massage was the first medical skill that appeared in Chibwa Classic. It was broad and profound and involved the human body's veins, organs, bones, and other organs. Wang Yao found that this medical skill could be used with his neishi. I have to try it out and see what kind of effect it has. The next day, Zhou Xiong and his son arrived in Lianshan County. He rented the house for a few more months before he left. Before the time was up, they stayed there temporarily. Kong, take a rest first. We'll go to your Uncle Wang Yao's place in the afternoon. Got it, Dad. Zhou Xiong then called Wang Yao. After confirming that he would be on Nanshan Hill in the afternoon, he made an appointment to visit him. In the afternoon, the weather was clear and sunny. Zhou Xiong and his son arrived at the foot of Nanshan Hill at around 2 p.m. They looked up and saw that the hill had become lush and full of vegetation. It's only been a few days, and the changes are so big. They went up the hill. San Xian barked twice. Hello, San Xian. Kong smiled and greeted San Xian. Brother Zhou, Kong, have a seat in the house. Sorry to bother you again, Dr. Wang, Zhou Xiong said. Don't mention it. Wang Yao made a pot of tea for them. By the way, before I came, my father asked me to give you a special gift. I hope you'll like it. While talking, Zhou Xiong took out a package from his backpack. After opening it, there was a book inside. It was an ancient thread-bound book. It looked a bit old. There were 2 ancient words on the cover. It was Quanjing. What's this? Wang Yao took the book and flipped through 2 pages. It was an ancient book about boxing, which was equivalent to the martial arts secret book in novels. This is a fist manual passed down in my family. There are many martial arts recorded in it. It has at least 100 years of history. I can't accept such a valuable item. Hearing Zhou Xiong's words, Wang Yao immediately realized that this ancient book was most likely a family heirloom. This gift was too precious, and he couldn't accept it. Zhou Xiong said, everyone in the Zhou family has memorized the things inside. Just like what my father said, it's better to give it to someone who likes it than to leave it there to rot. Besides, you've done a great favor for the Zhou family, and we have no way of repaying you. I still can't accept it. Wang Yao smiled and waved his hand. Zhou Xiong insisted on sending him. How about this? I'll come up with a compromise. I'll borrow this book temporarily for a year. I'll return it to the Zhou family after a year. What do you think? Wang Yao really liked Kung Fu. Okay, Zhou Xiong agreed very quickly. Come, let me take a look at Kang's illness. With a new medical technique, there was a place to put it to use. The child's arm was still as thin as firewood. There was no vitality in it at all. It was like a dead piece of wood. The meridians were blocked. This arm was actually considered to be useless. I'll give you a massage. Let me know if you feel uncomfortable. Okay. Wang Yao began to gently massage Kang's arm. During the massage, his neishi flowed and gathered on his right hand. Wang Yao's right hand began to heat up. It was even a little hot. However, when it fell on Kang's body, it still didn't have much effect. Because of the blockage of the meridians, some of his nerves had died. It was like an old equipment that couldn't be used anymore. Zhou Wukong suddenly moved his arm. What's wrong, Kong? I feel a little hot, Zhou Wukong said. A little hot? Wang Yao controlled his neishi and gradually weakened it. Basically, he only used skills to help the child recover the meridians in his arm. He pressed, rubbed, and pushed. He used both his fingers and palms. Dr. Wang, I didn't expect your massage technique to be so good, Zhou Xiong praised. This was the first time he had seen Wang Yao perform such a technique. He admired him from the bottom of his heart. He could see that Wang Yao was very accurate in recognizing the acupoints. Because he was a martial arts practitioner, he was familiar with the meridians and acupoints of the human body. Wang Yao's massage just now was carried out along the meridians and acupoints in the arm. This alone was absolutely impossible for ordinary doctors. I just learned it, Wang Yao said. Just now? Don't joke around. Zhou Xiong said with a smile. Even people with poor eyesight could see that it was impossible to master such a technique without years of hard work. Ha! Wang Yao just smiled. Wang Yao mainly massaged his arm. At the same time, he also extended the massage to his shoulder and back. It took him nearly an hour to complete the set. How is it, Kong? How do you feel? Wang Yao said, Well, I feel my body is hot, especially this side of my arm, Zhou Wukong said. Let me check your pulse. Wang Yao checked his pulse again. There were some subtle changes in his pulse. Are you still living in a rented place? Yes. Well, that's all for now. If you have time, bring Yao here. I'll give him a massage. It's good for the treatment and recovery of the disease. Thank you very much. Thank you, Uncle. Good boy, Kong, Wang Yao said with a smile. He liked this strong and sensible child very much. Uncle, can I go out and have a look? Of course. Zhou Xiong and his son walked around Nanshan Hill. They deliberately avoided the herbal field because when they walked there, a shiny Xian stopped them and did not let them go any further. They probably guessed that it was the forbidden area in this area. They were very sensible and avoided it. Dad, I feel very comfortable here. Well, I feel it too. This time, Zhou Xiong felt it very clearly. On this mountain, his body had a kind of comfortable feeling that came from the inside out. The trees on the hill don't seem to be very lush, but it does feel very comfortable. I don't know what method Dr. Wang used. Although the mountain was very comfortable, it wasn't their own place. The father and son stayed there for a while before they left. Wang Yao watched them go down the mountain and then went into the house. After going down the mountain, Zhou Xiong suddenly had this idea in his mind. Could it be because of the feng shui? After entering the house, Wang Yao immediately recorded the subtle changes in the pulse after the massage treatment. This is a typical difficult and miscellaneous disease. Kong, Secretary Yang's mother, Wei Hai, Mr. Sun's son who was far away in Dao, the woman in Jing whom he had never met, and Zhou Wui from the Zhou family in Sangzhou were all difficult and miscellaneous diseases recognized by the system. Wang Yao had not cured any of these diseases. There was still a long way to go. The meridians are blocked. There should be a prescription that has not been used. Wang Yao had received 2 prescriptions as a reward when he had completed several tasks. One of them was blood deblicking powder, which could dredge the meridians and promote blood circulation and remove blood stasis. This was a prescription provided by the system. It was definitely not comparable to ordinary medicine. 2 licorice roots. In addition to several ordinary medicinal herbs, this prescription also needed 2 licorice roots. Ziu. Promote blood circulation and dredge the meridians. Wuding. Strengthen the meridians. He had these 2 licorice roots, but there was not enough time to use them. He also did not have enough redemption points to exchange for them through the pharmacy. It seems that I can only wait. After recording his thoughts, he took out the boxing book that Zhou Xiong had brought and read it carefully. As Zhou Xiong and his son had guessed, he really liked Kung Fu. This actually stemmed from his inner wuxia dream. Most boys had a wuxia dream deep in their hearts. They longed to be able to wear good clothes and ride a horse, travel in Jianghu, and become a famous master in the world. Wang Yao was no exception. No one knew what Jianghu was, but there was a very core word. Kung Fu. Leaping over eaves and vaulting over walls, splitting stones, picking flowers to hurt people. These Kung Fu might not be fake. Maybe it really existed, but it had been lost. The ancient book that Zhou Xiong had brought was definitely as simple as 100 years, because many of the words in it were ancient characters. It was more like a person's understanding of Kung Fu than a boxing book. He was so engrossed in it that he even forgot to go down the mountain for lunch. He read until the afternoon. When it was close to evening, when it was dark outside, he put away the boxing book. Good book. He could not help but praise. Both Kung Fu and medicine were the quintessence of the country. They were broad and profound. However, because of some reasons, some of the essence had been lost. Some were regarded as unique skills by some people. They were passed down in the family and were not easily revealed. This had both advantages and disadvantages. It was really rare for the Zhou family to have such a mind and courage. Yao, your second aunt will come back on May 1st. Can you go to Wei City to pick her up? Wang Yao's mother asked during dinner. Okay, no problem. Wang Yao agreed without hesitation. His two aunts had been very good to him when he was young. 10 or 20 years ago, the living conditions were poor. In the countryside, there were not as many side jobs as there were today, except for farming. Wang Yao was the first child in the two families. His second and youngest aunts liked him very much. They were reluctant to spend the money they earned to buy him toys and delicious food. His second uncle's husband was a soldier. After he finished his major in Jing City, he settled down there. Then, he brought his second aunt and younger sister over. They were lucky. They bought a house relatively early and had a foothold in Jing City. If it were now, the house price would definitely not be affordable for working-class people like them. How long will you stay this time? 3 days. So short? Wang Yao asked. Yes, your uncle's mother has cancer. He should not be able to make it, so he came back to visit her. Your second aunt and younger sister are also on holiday, so they came back together. In fact, they're not willing to come back. You don't know, your second uncle is living a hard life. Not to mention the round-trip fare. Just visiting relatives and comrades at home costs thousands of yuan, which is equivalent to his monthly salary. Chapter 180. Aha! In Beijing, my second aunt and uncle's salary is not enough, Wang Yao said. He had heard his mother mention his second aunt's family more than once. The family's monthly income in Jing City was less than 10,000 yuan. If this income was in a small county like Lianshan County, it would be enough. However, in a place like Jing City, it was not enough to spend it all. Fortunately, they already had a house. Otherwise, the rent and mortgage alone would be enough for them. I also told your second aunt that life in Beijing is too tiring. The pace is fast and the air is bad. It's better to come to hike. If he sells his 70-square-meter house, he could buy a villa by the sea and hike, Zhang Xiaoying said. Yes, I think there will be a surplus, Wang Yao said with a smile. But Mom, have you ever thought that the medical conditions, education conditions, and public facilities in Beijing are far better than ours? Let's not talk about other things. Just the college entrance examination alone is probably dozens of points lower than ours. My sister is now a Beijing resident. She should be in high school, right? That's right. Yes, that's true. Well, don't think too much. You can call your second aunt later and ask for the exact time they will arrive at the train station. I can pick them up. Okay. After dinner, Wang Yao gave his parents a massage to relax their bodies. This time, however, he used a little qi. Yao, why are your hands so hot? His mother asked curiously during the massage. Really? Maybe it's because of the massage? After the massage for his parents, he went up to Nanshan Hill. On the way up the hill, he received a call from Tongwei and Dao. He had not called her for a few days. Are you still on the hill? A woman's pleasant voice came from the phone. No, I'm on the way up the hill, Wang Yao said. Don't you feel bored being on the hill all the time? What have you been busy with these days? Why didn't you call me? Tongwei pouted her red lips and asked coquettishly. I went to Sangzhou a few days ago. Why are you going to Sangzhou? In an apartment in Dao City, Tongwei was lying on the bed in a bubble suit and talking to Wang Yao on the phone. Her graceful figure and tender skin could be vaguely seen, which made one's imagination run wild. I'm treating a patient. What illness? Tongwei asked curiously. Strange illness. Tell me about it. She acted coquettishly again. There were several methods that women use to deal with men, such as crying and acting coquettishly. Especially when beautiful women used these two methods, their power was even greater. Basically, men couldn't resist. Wang Yao was also a man. Although he had some special abilities, Tongwei was a beauty, a great beauty. Thus, he gave a general account of what had happened in the Tsang province. Of course, he left out the details of how he had fought off the two assassins. I didn't expect your medical skills to be so amazing. Just SOSO, Wang Yao replied with a smile. Who on earth did you learn from? This is a gift from the heavens, Wang Yao said. After not talking for a few days, their relationship didn't drift apart. Instead, it became closer. Even the tone of their conversation was more like that of a couple. Are you coming back on May 1st? I'm coming back. Can you come and pick me up? Tongwei asked. Can you tell me the specific time? Wang Yao thought for a while. He had to go to Wei City. This was what he had promised his mother. In Jing City, thousands of miles away, in a room, a gauze curtain, a strange fragrance, an old man in his 70s was sitting in front of the sickbed, diagnosing the patient who was wrapped in a special bandage. Ah, the old man sighed and got up. How is it, Mr. Chun? A middle-aged man beside him asked softly. I'm sorry. Mr. Chun shook his head. Such a strange illness, and it had already become incurable. If she hadn't been born in this family, if she hadn't been strong-willed enough, she would have died long ago. Perhaps death was a kind of relief for her. She wanted to cry, but she couldn't. Why do I have such an illness? Why do I have to endure such pain? I could have worn the most beautiful clothes to travel around the mountains and see the sea. I could have fallen in love, found someone I liked, married him, and given birth to a pair of children for you. I could have accompanied my parents happily, chatting and laughing. Why, Dad, Mr. Chun went to see Xiaoxue just now. I'm afraid Xiaoxue is. Hearing the news, the old man, who was still very energetic, seemed to have aged more than 10 years. He was silent for a long time, then slowly got up. Come with me again. Dad, it's useless to go. How do you know it's useless if you don't go? The old man said. The courtyard was not big. There were flowers and plants in it. There were vegetables in the corner. An old man was sitting on a rattan chair, wearing reading glasses and reading a newspaper. Chief, the two chiefs of the Su family are here to visit. Ah, they're here again. Please come in. The old man sighed. He watched the father and son enter the small courtyard. I just asked Dr. Chun to take a look. Xiaoxue might not make it. The old man's hand holding the newspaper trembled slightly. I'll call Sairu. Okay. The father and son left. As soon as they walked out of the door, they saw a young man with a bright smile on his face. Grandpa Su, Uncle Su, I know where the person you're looking for is. On Nanshan Hill, there was some dust flying. A figure shuttled back and forth among the green trees and red flowers. His hands were flying, sometimes fast and sometimes slow. This was not Wang Yao's enlightenment after reading the boxing manual brought by Zhou Xiong. He practiced in the forest. After one round, his qi and blood were boiling, and his body was very comfortable. This fifth scripture is indeed mysterious. In fact, it recorded more of the understanding of boxing. Of course, there are also some specific moves. This kind of ancient book made it easier for people to understand and comprehend. On the road from Hike to Lianshan County, a car was speeding. There were 3 people in the car. Lianshan County, Songbai Town, Wang Village, Nanshan Hill. The person speaking was a middle-aged man with a serious face. The task is very simple. Invite someone to Jing City. Didn't Dr. Gu come last time? It's not the same. Last time, he didn't see him. Because the daughter of the Guo family didn't bring him to see anyone. Songbai Town is just ahead. Pay attention. The car arrived at the town and then turned north from a fork in the road. Not long after, it turned east again. The road conditions also changed. The asphalt road became a cement road. The road was not wide. It was a one-lane road. It was difficult to pass by. Is this the right road? Yes. The village is in the valley ahead. The car moved forward in the bumpy road. After about a dozen miles, a mountain village appeared in front of them. It was divided into 2 by a river. Go south. The car drove into the mountain village. Wow, what car is this? It looks very stylish. Looking at the shiny black car, the villagers praised. It seems to be called Jaguar. The car kept going south and stopped at the south end of the village. Sir, can I ask you something? The middle-aged man who got out of the car stopped an old man who was leading a cow. What's the matter? Is there a person called Wang Yao in our village? The middle-aged man smiled and took out a box of Zhonghua cigarettes. He took out a cigarette and handed it to the old man. Yes, he's on the mountain. The old man smiled and took the cigarette. Why are you looking for him? I want to trouble him with something. Thank you. No problem. On the mountain, another man in his 30s got out of the car. He was not tall. His body could only be regarded as lean. However, his eyes were extremely sharp, like the edge of a knife. This is a mountain village, not Jing. Put away your momentum, the middle-aged man said. Yes. In an instant, The man's sharp eyes disappeared. It was as if the edge of a knife had been put into the scabbard. Listen to me later. Yes. The two of them went up the mountain and along the rugged mountain road. After bypassing a peak, a mountain appeared in front of them. Nanshan Hill was lush. A small house could be vaguely seen standing on it. That's it. The two of them went up the mountain. Woof, woof, woof. The dog in front of the house barked. What's wrong, Sanxian? Wang Yao, who was studying the boxing scripture in the house, thought. The scripture was put into the grid of the system. He got up and left the house. Chapter 181. Wang Yao stood in the herbal field and saw two people coming from the foot of the mountain. Someone is here, and they are not from the village. Wang Yao's eyesight was far better than that of ordinary people. In some aspects, he could even compete with a goshawk flying in the sky. Naturally, he could tell that the two people who were going up the mountain were not from the village. Strangers, what are you doing here? Huh? The middle-aged man who was walking at the front suddenly stopped halfway up the mountain. Do you feel anything different? The wind has changed, and so has the temperature. Yes, we are on the mountain. It shouldn't be like this. The more they went up, the more obvious the changes were. This mountain is strange. The two of them came to the outside of the medicinal field, but were blocked by a dog. This dog is good. Yes, it is energetic. What can I do for you? Wang Yao looked at the two strangers standing outside. Hello, are you Wang Yao? The middle-aged man in front asked with a smile. I am. And you are? Wang Yao looked at the two strangers, and they looked at him. Hello, my name is Chen Weiyuan. This is Xia Su. We have something to ask you, Mr. Wang. What is it? Wang Yao said. Can we talk inside? Please. Wang Yao invited the two people into the cottage. After entering the cottage, Chen Weiyuan looked around. Finally, his eyes fell on the scriptures on the table. Please have some tea. Thank you. What can I do for you two? I heard that Mr. Wang's medical skills are excellent. I would like to ask you to treat a patient, Chen Weiyuan said. Wang Yao was surprised to hear that. These two strangers actually came to see him. Where did they get the news that he could treat patients? Not many people knew that he had this ability, and among them, even fewer people knew where his home was. Even if they knew, they probably wouldn't reveal his whereabouts. At most, they would just call in advance and ask for his permission before bringing people over. I'm sorry, Wang Yao declined with a smile. Mr. Wang, please feel free to tell me how much the consultation fee is. You got the wrong person. Wang Yao didn't reply. I knew it, Chen Weiyuan thought. He had expected this before he came. Since you're here, you must have found the right person. Mr. Wang, what conditions do you need to make a house call? Mr. Chen Weiyuan asked. He was so young, yet he grew herbs on a mountain and read Taoist classics like the Nanhua scripture. In addition, he had a unique temperament. If he were in another place, he would have thought that he was a personal disciple of some Chinese medicine master. However, he had never heard of any famous Chinese medicine master in Lianshan County. Judging from these points, the young man in front of him was not simple. Mr. Wang, we can guarantee that this visit won't cause you any trouble, Chen Weiyuan said. I won't go. You should find someone else. Wang Yao refused with a smile. Is it convenient to tell me the reason? I don't know anything about you. Also, who told you my address? Wang Yao said. He was very disgusted by the fact that his information was leaked without his consent. We can introduce ourselves to you. As for the person who told us the specific address, I don't know, Chen Weiyuan said. He really didn't know who it was. Then go and check it out. Let me know when you find out. I'll consider whether to make a house call, Wang Yao said. Chen Weiyuan was silent. He lowered his head and looked at the tea on the table. The tea was very fragrant, but he didn't drink it at all. Mr. Wang, your parents are old, right? What do you mean? Wang Yao narrowed his eyes slightly. The atmosphere in the room seemed to have changed in an instant. Xia Su, who was sitting next to Chen Weiyuan, suddenly tensed up. His eyes were sharp, like a sleeping leopard that suddenly found a strong enemy. This young man is very dangerous. Huh? Wang Yao naturally felt the dangerous aura emitted by Xia Su. This person is definitely not as ordinary as he looks. Mr. Wang, you misunderstood. What I mean is that your parents are now old. They can totally change their lifestyle. I think they're living a good life now. They're quite happy, Wang Yao said with a smile. He's really stubborn. Chen Buiyuan thought to himself. This is a matter of life and death. I hope Dr. Wang can understand. I'm sorry. Wang Yao still insisted. Well, we'll leave first. This is my phone number. I'll answer it 24/7. No matter when you change your mind, you can call me immediately. Goodbye. The mountain road is rugged. Take care. Wang Yao watched the two of them leave the hill. Trouble is coming. It may be big trouble. Why are you leaving just like that? What do you want to do? Do you want to use force? Kidnap him? Or force him? If he's not willing to treat Miss Wang, you can use some tricks. Have you thought about the consequences? Chen Buiyuan asked. He knows Kung Fu, Xiaosu said, and he's not weak. Let's keep looking. I don't believe a person at his age has no desires. Chen Buiyuan stopped and looked back. He could vaguely see a figure behind the trees. Who else is in his family besides his parents? He has an older sister. Where does she work? The Agriculture Bureau. Agriculture Bureau? What a coincidence. Chen Buiyuan smiled. In the evening, Wang Yao went home for dinner. He found 2 bags of gifts at home. Mom, who came? A person named Chen Buiyuan. He said he's your friend. He came to see your dad and me. He brought these gifts. We didn't want them, but he insisted on keeping them, Zhang Xiaoying said. Is he really your friend? He's already been here? He's quite fast. Mom, don't let strangers into our house. What if he's a bad guy? Bad guy? He doesn't look like a bad guy. He drives a luxury car. Does driving a luxury car make him a good guy? Wang Yao said. It's my fault for not telling you in advance. You don't know him? Wang Yao asked. Yes, I just met him this morning. He said he wanted to see me. I don't know him, but he came to see me. He even brought gifts for you. Ah, he just wants to see you? Nothing else? Zhang Xiaoying was worried. Nothing else. Don't worry about it, Wang Yao said. After dinner, he went back to Nanshan Hill. In the cottage, he made a round of phone calls. Starting from Wang Mingbao, he asked all the people he was familiar with, but none of them knew a person named Chen Buiyuan. Don't tell me this person's name is fake. He called He Qixing. What? Chen Buiyuan? Xiaosu. After hearing these 2 names, the tone of the other party changed. Yes. Do you know them? No, but I've heard of them, He Qixing said on the other end of the phone. You've heard of them? Are they from Beijing? Wang Yao vaguely guessed something. Yes, they're from Beijing, Wang Yao said. Who told them that I was here? Was it your family's eldest miss? Of course not. Last time, someone specially came to her house to ask for help. She only brought the person a hike and didn't bring him to Lianshan County. After hearing that you didn't agree, she directly told the person and asked him to go back, He Qixing hurriedly explained. Both times, it was for the same person. Yes. Who else knows about this except you? No, He Qixing said. Wait. He suddenly thought of a possibility. Could it be that person? No. I have to tell Miss about this as soon as possible. After hanging up the phone, he immediately called his daughter and told her in detail. At the same time, he also told her some of his thoughts and guesses. Okay, I got it. Sorry to trouble you, Uncle He. Guasairo hung up the phone. She looked tired. She picked up the phone and thought for a long time. Then she put it down. She sighed. I hope it won't backfire. Chen Buiyuan and Xia Su went to Lianshan County and stayed there for the night. What should we do next? Wait. Wait? We can wait, but Mrs. Illness can't wait, Xia Su said anxiously. Do you have any good ideas? I thought you had a good idea. Look at how confident you were when you left the house. Chapter 182. Before leaving Beijing, he did have a lot of ideas. However, after meeting Wang Yao, he realized that some of the ideas he had in Beijing were useless. He had to think of another way. At such a young age, he actually has the strength of an ancient hermit. That's rare and troublesome. Wealth, fame, beauty. Do I have to try them all? I don't have that much time. Qi Province, Jizhou City. Uncle He, what do you think I should do? Guasairu was also hesitating about this matter. Explain it to him directly, He Qixing said after listening to him. If you do that, he won't go to Beijing. Xiao Xue's condition is already at the point of life and death. Guasairu said. That's why you have to tell him the truth. Only then will you have a chance. Otherwise, you'll just break up, He Qixing said. In fact, at the very beginning, he had wanted to suggest that the young lady directly tell Wang Yao about the poor man's illness in the capital. Through this period of contact, he had learned a little about Wang Yao's temperament. Wang Yao was a typical person who could be persuaded by reason, but not cowed by force. Moreover, he had the strength of a hermit in ancient times. If he was persuaded by money and beautiful women, he would probably be judged as someone who could not be associated with him in his heart. It was better to persuade him with true feelings. You mean I should tell him about Xiao Xue's condition? Yes, tell him. But I promised the Su family, Guasairu said. Guasairu said, although she was a woman, she was not inferior to men. Her promise was worth 1,000 gold. This could be seen from her promise to Wang Yao. If it works, the Su family will only thank you. If it doesn't work, Wang Yao will never mention it, Su Xiaoxue said. I'll go to Lianshan. Guasairu instantly made a decision. In the county town, someone is looking for me. Wang Ru looked at the two men in front of her. I don't know any of them. Hello, are you Wang Ru? Chen Buiyuan asked politely. Yes, I am. And you are? I'm Chen Buiyuan. Can I have a few minutes of your time? Sure. With just a few words, Wang Ru understood their intentions. You want to invite my brother to a house call? Yes, but they don't agree because they don't know us, Chen Buiyuan said. But I don't know you guys. Then we can call someone to vouch for us. Just as he finished speaking, a middle-aged man got out of the car outside. He had a medium build and was slightly plump. Hello, Comrade Wang Ru. Wang Ru was stunned. Who is this? Chen Buiyuan was stunned. It can't be. Mayor Lu, why are you here? At this moment, a middle-aged man who was more than half-bald ran up to him. You are? I'm the deputy director of the Agriculture Bureau in Lianshan County, Yangyan. Hello, deputy mayor. Hearing this, Wang Ru was stunned. Looking at the deputy director beside her, who was nodding and bowing, it seemed to be true. Who were the two men in front of her? How could they ask such a person to be their guarantor? Mayor Lu, are you here to supervise the work of the Agriculture Bureau? Yang Yin asked. Why didn't I hear about you in advance? No, I'm here for a private matter. You can go back to work. Okay, go ahead. Yang Yin didn't dare to say more. He couldn't help but look at Wang Ru. What's the relationship between Wang Ru and Deputy Mayor Lu? Ms. Wang, what do you think? Chen Buiyuan asked. Chen Buiyuan originally wanted to invite Deputy Mayor Lu, who happened to be in charge of agriculture in Hike City. Firstly, he wanted to be their guarantor, and secondly, he wanted to show his strength. However, he didn't expect to meet someone who was in charge of agriculture, but didn't know who this Deputy Mayor Lu was. In fact, Wang Ru couldn't be blamed. If it were another ordinary employee of the Agriculture Bureau, he or she wouldn't know who this Deputy Mayor Lu was either. Chen Buiyuan and Wang Ru were in different positions, so they naturally had different ideas. Let me think about it. Facing a person with a high position, Wang Ru couldn't be as calm as her younger brother. Comrade Wang Ru, I can vouch for them. There is absolutely no problem with their identities, Deputy Mayor Lu said with a smile. Look, who is that person? Damn, is that Deputy Mayor Lu? He's talking to Wang Ru. Do they know each other? I was wondering why that guy who usually doesn't show off is so lucky recently. He got a raise and a promotion. It turns out that he has such a strong background. Could it be that he is a mistress? Don't talk nonsense. Naturally, Wang Ru could not hear the gossip of her colleagues in the office building not far away. Instead, she was thinking about her younger brother, who stayed at home almost all day, squatting on the mountain to take care of the several acres of herbal field. These people in front of her were obviously not ordinary people. What ability did he have to let them find her? They even had a deputy mayor vouch for him. How'd they find her? Could it be that they went to her home and met her younger brother, but hit a wall and wanted to find a breakthrough through her? At this moment, she thought of a lot of things unrestrainedly. Comrade Wang Ru, work hard. Deputy Mayor Lu stayed for a short while. He then said goodbye to Chen Buiyuan in a respectful manner and left. Sorry to bother you. Chen Buiyuan also realized that he didn't handle this matter well. It's okay. About this matter, I still want to ask my younger brother. I also want to ask one more thing. Are you sure you didn't find the wrong person? Is the person you found my younger brother? I'm 100% sure about this. We didn't find a wrong person. Chen Buiyuan smiled helplessly. But my younger brother majored in biology when he was in university, Wang Ru said. Yes, we know about this. It failed. Looking at Wang Ru's back, Chen Buiyuan felt a bit helpless. Why didn't any of my ideas achieve the expected effect when I put them to use? This pair of siblings, this family, why did he feel that they were different from the people he had met before? In the evening, the sun was setting in the west. There was no wind on the west road, nor was there a thin horse. On Nanshan Hill, there were 2 more visitors. Miss Gua, Mr. He, it's so late. I hope I won't disturb you from going down the hill for dinner, Gua Sairu said with a smile. It's okay. Please have a seat. Wang Yao didn't expect the 2 of them to choose this time to visit him. It seemed that there must be something urgent. Mr. Wang, would you like to listen to a story? Gua Sairu took a sip of tea and asked, A story? Yes, a story about a pitiful but strong girl. Okay, I'm all ears. Wang Yao leaned against the chair with the teacup in his hand. There was a girl. She was the only girl of her generation in the family. She was spoiled and treated as the apple of the eye. However, she was very well behaved. She didn't have the arrogance and willfulness of the eldest daughter of the family. Unfortunately, sometimes God takes a nap. Sometimes fate isn't fair. When she was in the prime of her life, she contracted a strange disease. Wang Yao listened attentively. To be honest, Guasairu's story wasn't good. She wasn't a good storyteller. However, the story itself was very interesting, especially the girl who suffered from a strange disease, but was strong enough to support herself. The story wasn't long. When Guasairu finished, the sun hadn't set yet. If it were me, I probably wouldn't have been able to support myself. What do you think is the reason that supported this strong girl? Maybe it was the encouragement from family, or the desire to live, or Wang Yao said. He could think of many reasons, but he couldn't help but admire the girl's strength. As Guasairu said, if this happened to other people, they wouldn't have been able to support themselves for so long. I think, in a simple sentence, she wanted to live. She didn't want to leave this world so soon. There are too many wonderful things she hasn't seen yet. Guasairu's voice was a bit low. The girl in the story you're talking about is the patient you wanted me to see last time, right? Yes, Guasairu admitted directly. Jing, yes. Her family should have just sent someone to look for you. Chen Buiyuan and Xiasu. Yes, it's them, He Qixing said. Oh, is it another big family? Yes, it's not an exaggeration to say that they're from a rich family, Guasairu said, inviting from 1,000 miles away and promising a lot of money. Seeing that it didn't work, he should play the pity card. Should he agree or not? Just as Wang Yao was thinking, his phone suddenly rang. He picked it up and saw that it was his sister. Sister, Yao, I have something to ask you. Wang Ru's tone on the other end of the phone was very serious, which surprised Wang Yao for a moment. He thought something had happened. Following Wang Ru's description, he immediately realized that there was indeed something, a big matter. Okay, I got it. Don't worry. They don't mean any harm. You should be careful. They have a very strong background. They can even invite the deputy mayor. Okay, I got it. Don't tell anyone else about this. Also, don't tell our parents, in case they're worried. Okay. After hanging up the phone, Wang Yao sighed softly. He didn't know whether he should laugh or be angry. After the 2 people who came yesterday failed, they first came to my parents. Today, they came to my sister. They're in a hurry. In a hurry? Wang Yao gently rubbed his forehead. This is troublesome. Is the patient's condition very dangerous now? Yes, several doctors in Jing have seen her. She can't live past this month. It was already April 23rd. There were only 7 days left until May. 7 days? Chapter 183. I'll give you an answer tomorrow. If you go, help me avoid all the trouble caused by this matter. If you don't go, I'm sorry, but please don't come to me because of this matter again. Okay, it's a promise. Guasairu said goodbye and went down the hill. Beijing. Wang Yao leaned back in his chair and looked outside. The sun had set, and the leaves were swaying in the wind. Sansien was lying in his kennel, and the goshawk was perched on a branch. It was quiet on the hill. After the sky darkened, Wang Yao returned home. He was surprised to find his sister at home. "What's going on? It's not Sunday or a holiday. Why are you back?" "I came back because of you," Wang Ru said angrily. "Me? What does it have to do with me? The person who came to see you hired a deputy mayor to vouch for him. Everyone in our unit saw it. Now, almost everyone knows about it. Everyone is talking about what kind of relationship I have with the deputy mayor. Some even said that I'm his mistress." "Who's a mistress?" Wang Ru said angrily. Wang Yao was stunned. He didn't expect that this matter would cause so much trouble for his sister. So, this matter was really caused by him. "I've decided to take 2 days off from work so that I don't have to listen to their nonsense." "Hey, sister, you are not afraid of slandering people. I think the more you hide, the more they will talk about you," Wang Yao said. People's words were a fearful thing. Wang Yao couldn't control them, but he could use other ways to make them restrain themselves. "By the way, what's the name of your deputy mayor?" "You don't know?" Wang Ru said angrily. "Yeah, where are those 2 people from?" Wang Yao's mother asked. "Beijing?" "Beijing." Wang Ru was stunned. "Why would someone from the capital come all the way here to seek treatment from you?" "Haha, I don't know why. Maybe your brother's medical skills are really unique," Wang Yao said with a smile. "Beijing? It's so far away," Zhang Xiaoying said. A few days ago, when the 2 strangers took the initiative to visit her house, she had been thinking about this matter. Now that her daughter mentioned it, she was even more worried. The other party's power was obviously very great. They were actually able to get a deputy mayor to vouch for them. This was something that ordinary people like them didn't dare to imagine. "Mom, don't worry." Wang Yao could hear his mother's worry. "Those people will leave very soon. They won't disturb us again." "Are they the dignitaries of the capital?" Wang Ru interrupted. "I think so. How do they know you?" Wang Ru asked seriously. She was also worried about her brother. "I heard about it," Wang Yao said. "Let's eat. We could talk about these things later." Wang Fenghua ended the dinner conversation with one sentence. After dinner, Wang Yao didn't go up the mountain immediately. Instead, his father asked him to stay. The family looked at the table, ate fruits, cracked melon seeds, and chatted. "Yao, who do they want you to treat?" Wang Fenghua asked. "It should be a girl." "Is the girl pretty?" "Hey, how are you in Tongwei? Will she come back during the Labor Day holiday?" Wang Ru's eyes lit up. "Yes, it's almost Labor Day. You can go to Dao City to pick Tongwei up. I think the girl is quite good. How's your contact with her recently?" Zhang Xiaoying was also interested at the mention of her son's girlfriend. The mother and daughter successfully changed the topic. Ahem, ahem, ahem. Wang Fenghua coughed twice. I'm sorry, Dad. Please continue. Is the illness serious?" "Very serious. It is said that she only has 7 days to live," Wang Yao said. "What? Only 7 days?" Zhang Xiaoying was surprised. What kind of doctor is so good? Wang Ru was obviously suspicious. That's Jing. It's not strange for some rich and powerful people to know some of the best Chinese medicine doctors. Some of the best doctors are beyond your imagination. Wang Yao said. Dr. Seng, whom he met in Sangzhou, was a representative of them. He had excellent medical skills and extraordinary medical ethics. He was a role model in the medical industry. "Can you treat it?" Wang Fenghua asked. "It's hard to say. I have to see the patient with my own eyes and diagnose the illness before I can make a judgment." Wang Yao said. He found that his father seemed to be very concerned about this matter. His attitude surprised and puzzled him. "Dad, what's wrong with you today? Why are you suddenly so concerned about this matter?" "Nothing. It's a matter of life and death," Wang Yao said. "It's true that it's a matter of life and death, but I'm not the merciful Guanyin Bodhisattva. Do you think I have to save everyone?" Wang Yao said, I'm just saying, you can do as you see fit. Don't worry about causing trouble for us," Wang Fenghua said. "I see." At around 9 p.m., Wang Yao went out of the house and went to Nanshan Hill. Should I go or not? Dongjing, which was thousands of miles away, was brightly lit. It was one of the most prosperous cities in the Eastern Hemisphere. The life at night was even more colorful and splendid than during the day. In a secluded house, 3 to 5 people were sitting around a bed. How is it? I used acupuncture to stimulate by force, but the effect is limited. If there is no treatment within 3 days, even God can't save her. 3 days. A middle-aged woman with an extraordinary temperament trembled and was about to fall down. Mom, a handsome man beside her held her up. Is there any news from Buyuan? Not yet. I've seen him, but he still doesn't agree to come to Jing. The young lady of the Guo family also went. Ah, tell Buyuan that it's fine if he doesn't want to come. What? Why? This is fate. The old man in his 70s looked at the woman lying on the bed. This is Xiao Xue's fate. Grandpa, I don't believe in fate. I'll go to Nanjiang and ask him to come. The old man shook his head silently. How can he come when he is dying? Who is talking beside me? What is that colorful light? The woman in a coma seemed to see colorful light in front of her eyes. Many people appeared, like her grandfather, father, mother, and brother. They were talking, sad, and seemed to be crying. Why? Is it because of me? Am I going to die? She didn't know how many times she had thought about it. She didn't know how many times she had endured it. It seemed that she couldn't endure it this time. Sanxian, do you think I should go? Wang Yao sat outside the cottage, looking up at the sky. Sanxian was lying beside him. He didn't want to go to Jing. The reason was that he was afraid that his relatively peaceful life would be disturbed. However, it seemed that the more he was afraid, the more likely it would happen. He looked at the sky outside and didn't go back into the cottage until after 10 o'clock at night. That night, he had a strange dream. He dreamed of a woman in colorful clothes, standing on auspicious clouds. He couldn't see her face clearly, but he thought that she must be very beautiful. How could the fairies on Tianshan not be beautiful? In the morning, the sun was a little lazy. On Nanshan Hill, a person was practicing boxing. There seemed to be wind between the movements. In Hike City, by the sea, the tide happened to be high. The sea breeze was a little strong. A beautiful woman stood on the beach, looking at the endless sea. How is it, miss? Wait for his call. Why does he dislike Jing so much? If it were me, I would do the same. The beautiful woman tidied her hair that was messed up by the sea breeze. That kind of rural life is so good. It's peaceful and contented. Think about it. If he went to Jing this time, if he really cured Xiao Xue's illness, the news would be spread crazily among the families. Xiao Xue's illness has been treated by many famous Chinese and foreign doctors, but they were all helpless. The person who can cure Xiao Xue's illness must be very skilled. How can people not fall sick when they eat grain and coarse food? Think about it. If he goes to Jing City this time and really cures Xiao Xue's illness, it will be a great thing. Everything in life can't go smoothly. That's why it's hard to find a famous doctor. Once more people know about his extraordinary medical skills, his peaceful life will be gone forever. I'm afraid that there will be people who will try their best to keep him in the capital. With our ability, it's not easy to help him get rid of these troubles. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.